Yep, Charlamagne the God.
Andrew Schultz.
We are the Brilliant Idiots. In this week's episode of Brilliant Idiots is brought to you by Bevel. A lot of y'all might be participating in No Shave November, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't stop keeping yourself trimmed. Do it the best way by getting a Bevel razor today. It's the first and only shaving system that's designed for coarse, curly hair and sensitive skin. Now, we're recording this on a Tuesday.
We're
recording this on a Tuesday. The Tuesday of the presidential election. We don't know what's going to happen tonight. You know, I wish we could have gotten this done after the election so we would know who would be the president. Who you got, Schultz?
I can't even play this game. I can't even play this fucking game with you.
Well, America, congratulations. You really fucked this one up, buddy. All right? Listen, I'm going to be honest with you, man. I knew Donald Trump becoming president would have a terrible effect on the country. I didn't realize the effect that it was going to have. People's morale is down today. I need to go down south and go drive to the trailer park and see where they celebrating this shit at.
Yeah.
All right?
It's down.
Because here in New York, where Hillary actually won, shit is down, bro. And this shit started last night. I actually was at the Jacob Javits Center, Hillary Clinton headquarters. You know, I took my daughter, took my wife, because, you know, as women, I just thought that's a good moment for them to see, because you could not tell me Hillary Clinton was not going to be the next president of the United States of America.
Yep.
When I tell you that it looked like they was down 20 with 2 minutes left in the fourth.
Not today, bitches.
Game 7. Whoa, man. And it's like I had to leave to go do Colbert show, so I'm walking out. Right as I'm walking out, everybody starts cheering. Yo! I'm like, yo, what happened? What happened? Is she back in it? Like, oh, she took the lead in Virginia.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, she still got a shot. Man, by the time we got to Colbert show, it was like she hit 3 threes in a row, and then Trump hit like 10, and it was just bad. I mean, it really looked bad. Like America was just sitting around in shock and awe, staring at the TV. Last night, America collectively did a mannequin challenge, and nobody even realized it. Nobody recorded that shit. We was all frozen staring at the motherfucking TV, bro.
Yeah, it was shocking, man.
And I don't want 4 years of this.
Yeah, I don't think I don't want 4 years. I don't think a lot of us want 4 years.
We got it though.
The majority of us want 4 years, unfortunately, and it was speaking on last night. I walked around. I just couldn't go to sleep last night. It was like 4:30 in the morning. I just walked around the streets. Nobody's out in the streets. Everybody that I do see is somber. And then it's like 4:30, and all of a sudden this guy is like just walking down the street, kind of crazy. He's like all like excited and crazy, and I just hear him look at me, and he goes. Take all your money out. Take all your money out. I'm going to the office right now. Take all your money out. I go, what are you talking about? He goes, take it out. He goes, anything you got liquid, take it out, put into S&P EFTs. And I looked at him. He got close, and he was coked out. He's this Wall Street guy, right? He was coked out of his mind. I was like, what are you talking about? He goes, dude, I already lost half of what I got in there. He goes,
he's talking about stocks, though.
He's talking about stocks. He goes, I already lost half of what I got in there. But there's a window from 5 to 6 where you can trade because they shut the stock market down for online trading. When there's a dip that goes below 800 points, they shut it down.
I texted y'all that last night. Last night I texted and said, yo, the stock market has already dropped 7%, and he's just in the lead.
Yeah.
This is not good for our country. You know what this is? It's a moral victory for the forgotten, as he calls them, as we've been telling y'all on this podcast for months, the poor and disenfranchised white people of our society who nobody has ever talked to, those rednecks in those rural areas who drive those motherfucking pickup trucks, who replace their Confederate flags with Trump pin signs. This is a moral victory for them. But I'm telling y'all right now, too, he ain't gonna do shit for y'all. Nothing. Like, what do you think he's going to do? To drop a bunch of gold into y'all fucking yards, give y'all a bunch of land, give y'all crops? What do you think he's going to do for y'all? In a year, you're going to be complaining about him.
Same thing religion does.
Same thing fucking religion does. He preyed on people's need to believe to create a cult-like following, and you stupid motherfuckers put him in the White House. But this is America's fault, too.
But that's what the Democrats have been doing for blacks and women for years.
But at least the Democrats try to do things.
Says who?
First of all,
says who?
Do you know why black people started switching from Republican to Democrat?
Why is that?
Because of the Civil Rights Act of 1964.
Sure.
Now, I would have switched too, goddammit. All right?
Sure.
If you tell me you're going to end segregation and you gave me this civil motherfucking rights act, at least they've tried to motherfucking do things.
So in 1964, they did something.
Something huge, not just something.
Something huge.
Come
Absolutely huge. Absolutely huge. It switched the loyalty, and they've preyed off of that loyalty for arguably 40 years.
I'm not gonna say
50 years, 55 years.
I mean, I'm not gonna say they preyed off it.
This is what I'll say.
This is what I think. I think that African Americans haven't done a good enough job of having more of those plans like they had in 1964. This is what we want. And this is how we go about getting it. I don't think it's been enough of that. I think that, the leadership has been ruined in the African American community. I don't think that we have the organizations that can push those kind of things through like we did in 64. 64, you had Martin Luther King Jr.
Sure, fair.
Like, come on, one of the greatest minds ever. Period.
So here's what I'll say, and this is just from looking last night. I think that what Democrats have done for women and black people is they've given them excuses for their situations. Like, Democrats have always positioned Republicans to be racist, and I'm somebody who's a lifelong Democrat voter. So what they'll do is, hey, black people, it's tough for you in America. Why? Because of those racist Republicans over there. They're the ones making it tough for you. Racism is out there. White people are holding you down. Those are the white people that are doing it. Don't vote for them. And they go to women. Hey, women, it's tough for you out there. You're making less than men. There's a wage gap. You're making 30% less. You know why? Because of those white Republicans over there. They want you.
That's what I'm saying. Like, these aren't irrational things.
Wait for it. Those white people are making you do that, right? Now, Trump did the exact same thing
with irrational fears.
Wait for it. He did the exact same thing for rural white people. He said, hey, rural white people, your life sucks. You want to know why? China. You want to know why your life sucks? Because China's stealing your jobs. Because Mexicans are stealing your jobs. Because Muslims stealing your jobs. He gave excuses for their shitty situation.
He stirred the pot of prejudice and hate.
He did the exact same thing that has been done in politics for years. He only did it for white people, and all of a sudden, we call it he stirred the pot of prejudice and hate.
You want, but you're lying to yourself.
Listen,
if you've ever heard a rhetoric like Donald Trump, you're lying to yourself. For a person,
it's the exact same rhetoric. No, it's only positioned towards people that are outside the country.
I've never heard a Democrat call a Republican a rapist or a drug dealer, or say we need to ban them from the country.
You've never heard Hillary Clinton call black people super predators?
What is that? Huh?
You've never heard black people? No. Hillary Clinton call black people super predators?
You listen to what you just said.
Yeah.
You just said Hillary or Democrats talk to black people and say white people are doing this. Talk to women and say men are doing this. So what does Hillary have to? What does Hillary calling black people super predators have to do with that?
Well, if we're going to relate it back to the 13th, when you look at the Clinton victory over Bush 1, it had to do with Democrats finally acknowledging that there was a crime problem publicly in the country and getting some of those voters who were very iffy about going to the Democratic Party because
your boy Bill said that when she made those comments about super predators, that was after having conversations with other black people in the community.
Absolutely.
And the black people were saying this is what was going on.
There was tons of crime.
So she was talking about a certain element in the community.
Look, my point that
to other black people.
My point is this is old. This is old as politics is old.
No, this was different.
You could say it's
different.
You could say it's different.
This was like
all it is serving a base that needs to be served and giving them an excuse for a situation. That's all it is. It's
but we've never heard the rhetoric on this level.
Look, I can't disagree with you. I can't disagree on the fact that
like he's not supposed to be able to win in any field. Like in the world we live in right now, this PC era where you can't say shit.
Get off of Twitter. That's on Twitter.
No.
You know who lost? Twitter lost.
Think about
social media lost. We think Twitter is bigger than it is. Twitter ain't shit. Social media ain't shit. We see a bunch of people trending on Twitter. We see, oh my God, they're killing this guy on Twitter. It's over. You know what? It ain't over. You know who lost? You know who lost this election? Twitter lost this election. Petty lost this election. All these people, all of us that think that if somebody is on Twitter and getting roasted on Twitter, that's what all of America thinks. No. America heard Trump say grab him by the pussy, and they didn't give a fuck because, they don't give a fuck about Twitter.
Media. Liberal media tried to bury Trump. Traditional everyday
media.
And
they failed.
They failed. You know why? Because it's social media. Because you had a whole motherfucking group of people that was coming to Trump's defense every motherfucking second because Trump could tweet shit out
himself.
You know
why? Because
crazy.
You know why?
Social media helped Trump tremendously.
Social media were all of Hillary's fans, and that's supporters. That's not
true.
And that's why she had 1,000.
You follow too many black people. That's not true.
And that's
not true. And you follow too many black people.
And that's
Go on Facebook
why
and you will see so much Trump support.
Anyway, that's why she had 1,000 people come out to her rallies. Now, Trump supporters.
Trump didn't have thousands of people at his
My
rally?
point exactly.
What are you talking about?
Because Trump supporters weren't tweeting. Trump supporters were actually doing. Trump supporters were actually going and voting. And unlike Hillary supporters who just go, "Hey, I'm fucking woke. I'm with her. I'm with her." No. Why don't you go out to the fucking polls?
You're absolutely you're so wrong on this.
Oh, so more people didn't come out to Trump's rallies than Hillary?
On social media,
did more people come to Trump's rallies than Hillary?
Let's go back to social media. On social media, black people hate Hillary Clinton. What are you talking about? She gets trashed on social media.
Maybe you should have liked her.
Every negative.
Maybe you should have liked her.
Every negative rhetoric, every negative clip, the super predator, everything. She gets trashed on social media. Go look at my mentions right now. For me being a black person who supports Hillary Clinton, and tell me what they look like.
I don't know what
black people were the ones sitting saying.
I don't know why we're talking about black people.
What do you mean?
I don't know why we're. I don't know what that has to do.
Because you're saying social media. I'm telling you.
Social media is more than black people.
Oh my God!
What I'm trying to tell you.
I'm telling you where the negative rhetoric was coming from, because it wasn't positive rhetoric about Hillary Clinton on social media.
It doesn't matter whether the rhetoric was positive or negative.
So why would you say social media lost the election
point
for her?
Is the social media generation tend to be the social media PC people, the social justice warriors, and the people that are going out there.
On social media.
Chris, give a second. One second. The people that are going out there and the people that are creating this drama and being upset about this drama are sharing these stories, sharing the grab by the pussy stories.
You're wording this wrong.
Sharing all these things.
What you're trying to say is people were on social media supporting Hillary, but Trump's people were actually out in the streets.
That's what I said.
Talking.
You just didn't hear.
What I'm telling you is Trump supporters were so big because of social media.
No.
Social media helped with that. Liberal media killed Trump. If you had to depend on just liberal media to motherfucking come to a conclusion about Trump, you would think he's the worst person ever.
A lot of your friends were tweeting about how great Trump is?
What do you mean?
Were a lot of your friends that you know on social media tweeting about how great Trump is?
Social media is not just my friends. Listen to your own advice. I keep telling you this over and over. Listen to your own
social
shit.
Media.
You don't think it's another side of it? Trump had 50 million supporters.
Some things to you?
Trump had 50 million voters. You don't think none of them got social media? You don't think they were on social media talking about how good their guy was?
Of course they do. But I think it's overwhelming that the Trump supporters care less about social media.
Who said that? Where are you getting this from?
Because Trump's demographics show that in these rural cities and rural and older white folks tend to not be on social media as much as millennials. And the millennial vote tends to always go towards the Democrats.
He had the young white man vote.
No.
Yes, he did actually.
No,
and he had young women. Yes,
no,
he did.
He didn't. He had more.
And he had 29% Latinos.
29% Latinos, yeah, absolutely.
Trump numbers. Listen,
but what does that have to do with what I'm saying? What I'm saying is it's overwhelmingly so. Overwhelmingly
so what?
Overwhelmingly so millennials and the people that are on social media and pushing the agenda on social media and pushing conversation on social media vote Democrat because younger people are what's on social media.
Do you know that? Do you know that this was the lowest millennial young black turnout?
That's true.
Yes, Simone Sanders.
Guys.
Simone Sanders from Bernie Sanders, who used to be in Bernie Sanders' campaign, hit me 2 weeks ago. I'll read you her text. I'll read you her exact text. That's why you think they started doing those pushes towards the end so crazy with motherfucking LeBron coming out in Cleveland and the Jay-Z concert and all that shit like that. I'll read you the text right here. Okay. Hey, it's Simone. I just got a quick briefing, but the message is clear. The black millennial numbers are low. My directive was to get everyone on the phone and take it. It's young black folks that got the answer, so take it and get going. So I got a few ideas, but I welcome your thoughts. We have to do something.
Look, I think it's important to acknowledge that Hillary ran an awful campaign. I think that in retrospect, now that I look back, Hillary, I think, is a loser. I don't think that she knows how to win. She's never really had to win. She's
been winning for 30 plus years.
No, she hasn't. She's been married to a guy who won.
You sound very sexist.
Yeah, man.
These are the kind of conversations you can have when a woman doesn't get elected president.
Exactly.
She didn't get elected largely because of attitudes like that.
No, that's not it. Stop making this some gender politics bullshit.
You can't get around
this.
This
is the reality of the matter.
Can't get around
No. I did not make it a gender politics. You guys mentioned the fact that she's a woman. I didn't mention it once. I mentioned the fact that she's never had to win.
She ran a conventional campaign.
She
didn't ran a bad campaign.
She's been married to a winner. What has she won? What has she won on her own?
New York State Senate, not State Senate. New York Senator.
She became a New York Senator. You don't think that had anything to do with the fact that she was
And
the wife of maybe the most popular Democratic president in recent history.
JFK won the Senate from Massachusetts because his dad was a power player in Massachusetts. That's how it works. I think Bush was governor of Texas because his father.
But Chris, why are we acting like one of the main reasons people loved Bill Clinton so much was because of Hillary?
It wasn't.
Yes, it was.
No, it wasn't.
People
never
were in love with Hillary Clinton.
No, they weren't.
White people hate. Look, the ugly
Back in
truth.
the day-
You're making things up.
No,
not
I
at
can't
all.
agree with that.
People
Listen,
loved it.
no, they
Y'all must never
didn't.
seen that ABC News documentary when they chronicled her life.
I want to get back to the campaign before.
And this one, she was
before
like,
I say
not so on script.
Before I say a single thing and you guys immediately disagree and not let me finish my point, just let me get to the end of the point. She ran a shitty campaign.
She definitely didn't.
In that, can I just finish the point?
She didn't,
I just
though.
make the point. You're not even allowing me to make the point to prove my premise.
You do this all
just
the time.
allow me to prove the
Golden
premise.
State goes 73-9. They lose the finals. Now they're the softest team ever.
Yeah, you're soft if you lose 3-1.
This guy
You're
here,
soft as
This
fuck.
is what he does. He's a flip flopper. He goes with the win.
No.
He goes with whatever's hot.
Why was it a bad campaign?
Thank you.
Why
I
was it a bad
appreciate that.
campaign?
It was a bad campaign because Hillary refused to address issues, and this also speaks on Democratic Party as well, that Americans we now know really cared about.
Like what?
Immigration. Hillary did not make a stand on immigration. She did not say how she was going to handle immigration. She did not say publicly what she was going to do with illegal immigration, if she was going to stop it, let it flow. No, she didn't.
Yes,
what she did is she might have agreed with what Obama was doing, but she didn't publicly say anything about stopping immigration.
Yes, she did.
And regardless if you care about it, or don't care about it, Americans cared about it. And very similarly to back in the day when America was completely frightened about crime, and then you had a Democratic politician like Bill Clinton come in and say, hey, we are going to stop crime. We're going to make major efforts to stop crime. This is what we're going to do to stop crime. It doesn't matter if you don't care about crime. If the general public cares about immigration and you're addressing that, all Hillary did was ran a campaign of I'm not Trump. And guess what? America wanted Trump. So if your campaign doesn't prove anything else,
immigration so much that she would bring.
What was her policy?
She would bring Muslims out, that she wasn't gonna fucking just send them away, and that's what.
What was her policy on Mexicans, illegal immigration?
I don't know. I just know
exactly. You don't know. And you interviewed her twice, so she didn't have a policy. That's all you need to know.
I know about Muslims.
Muslims are not illegal immigration. Muslims are legal immigration.
Yeah, but Trump said he wanted to send Muslims.
What I say? Illegal immigration.
He wanted to ban.
What I say? Illegal immigration.
But Muslims
stay on the topic.
Muslims don't count in that.
No, because they can't get here illegally because they're not crossing a border.
But he wanted
they have
to ban
fly
them, right?
here.
He wanted to send them away.
Illegal immigration.
Okay,
Charlamagne, stay on the topic.
All right.
Illegal immigration.
Well,
you interviewed her twice.
Illegal immigration, she
don't know her policy.
Illegal immigration, she agreed.
That's her fault.
Oh, time out. With illegal immigration, she agreed that they should put up some type of boundary. She did agree with that. That is a fact.
What was the boundary?
Because that's all Trump used to say. Hillary voted for the wall too.
What was the boundary?
Whatever fucking Trump.
You don't know. Just say you don't know.
Do you know?
Of course, I know she didn't.
That's not true though.
It is true.
Chris,
she did not come out and take a stand.
You never heard.
No, she had a policy. She might not have. I mean, what Trump did was come up with a very simple elementary school
You're gonna build a wall
plan.
And he would always say Hillary voted for the wall too.
Listen,
to
what
me,
Trump did is he took. Listen, and I'm not defending Trump. I voted for Hillary. I wanted Hillary. I think she would be better for the job. I am saddened by this. I'm depressed by this. But what Trump did is there is no reward without risk.
So you're telling me now,
and he took
a
risk.
Because you know they can pull up old podcasts and hear us say so many times over and over how Trump has no plan.
No, Trump does have a plan. You just said his plan.
Conventional campaign.
What was Trump's plan for illegal immigration?
Build a wall.
So he has a plan. That's a plan.
Shut the fuck up. Well, guess what?
Just because you disagree with it doesn't mean it's not a plan. Of course I'm right. He just whatever I say he disagrees with to disagree with. Don't disagree to disagree.
With that being said, guess what Trump has told Hillary numerous times?
Okay.
Hillary, you voted for the wall.
So she
and you know
said
what Hillary said? You know what Hillary said? Yes, I did vote for some type of border control.
And then what?
That's all
some type of border control. This aloof answer.
It sounds just like build a wall.
Because this is what.
It sounds just like build a wall. I want some type of border control. I want to build a wall. What's the difference?
How about this? Tell
me what's the difference.
I'll tell you the difference right now. Ready? I want to stop cops from killing black people.
I want to control cops from killing black people.
Wait for it. Don't you want to stop cops from killing black people? I want some type of, cop killing black people control. I want some type, I'm not exactly going to say what it is. I want some type of it. What sounds like more of a decision in that regard?
I want cops to stop killing black people.
That's what people voted for.
I want some type of police reform.
There you go.
Sounds like the same thing. It sounds like, are you finished or are you done to me?
Well, you know what? It ain't.
It sounds like, are you finished or are you done?
One is aloof. and the other is a committed strategy. And people want a committed strategy. And whether you like it or not, you're someone who lives in New York that I guess doesn't have to deal with what some people feel are the repercussions of illegal immigration. But people in this country, you're not on the border, is what I'm trying to say. You're not on the border. You're not part of these border towns. You're not feeling
There's border towns in New York?
Oh my God, bro!
I'm asking.
You're not even listening. You're not even listening. Border towns with Mexico. Border towns with Mexico.
You know what did that mean? You're somebody in New York that doesn't have to deal with illegal immigration. What are you talking about? Because when I think of that in New York, I think of a Muslim threat more than anything.
Yeah, I mean, there are more immigrants in New York than anywhere in the country.
So what are you talking about? You're just rambling now. I want you to talk. I want you to be clear.
I'm being very clear. You're not listening. Illegal immigration is different than Muslims taking a flight to America to hang out for a couple of days. If you're a Muslim that lives in a Middle Eastern country, right? In Trump's policy, you can't just fly to New York for a weekend with your wife and go to the fucking Cheesecake Factory when it opens. That's not something you can do under his policy. But that is legal. That is legal traveling. We're not talking about Muslim immigration. We're talking about traveling. He doesn't want Muslims coming into the country at all. That is a Muslim ban. That's completely different than immigration. Illegal immigration is you're a Mexican, El Salvadorian, fucking Peruvian, whoever it is, and you're coming through Mexico into America with intentions on staying in America illegally. Those are two completely different issues. The Muslim ban was about a fear of ISIS and about a fear of terrorism. And for whatever reason, Americans in parts of the country that most likely will never have to deal with terrorism are more afraid of terrorism than people in New York and other major cities who actually have to do it.
Because people have empathy for other human beings. I can live in South Carolina and have empathy for what happened in 9/11 and never want that to happen again, Schultz.
So you think that they're making that decision for my safety, not their safety?
I think they're making it for American people's safety, as you should.
So you're pro-Trump in that regard to stop all Muslims from coming.
What do you mean?
It
has nothing to do with nothing. I answered your question about why somebody in a place that doesn't have to deal with Muslims would feel that way.
No. What I said is, if I'm a New Yorker, right?
Okay.
And I've been here through terrorist attacks.
Yes.
And I think
that doesn't mean because I grew up in South Carolina and saw 9/11, I care less.
What I'm saying is,
I don't ever want something like 9/11 to happen again.
But
regardless of what country you're from, because we're Americans at the end of the day.
But you're making the argument that you're worried about me.
What do you mean?
You're making the argument right now, or at least what you said to me is you have empathy for me as a New Yorker. I
have empathy for you as an American, a human being.
Right. But you know for a fact that terrorists are never going to strike Monk's Corner, South Carolina.
What's the what?
What's the larger point you're trying to make here? I'm confused.
So my point is, people in Monk's Corner are people in other parts of the country that won't be affected by terrorist attacks.
Why do they want strict immigration reform?
Not immigrant. Again, that's a different issue. Okay. Let's separate the issues. Let's learn words because immigration is different.
Humans care about other humans.
You're saying we're not talking about people coming over the Mexican border. You're talking specifically about Muslims.
We've stopped talking about Mexicans.
Right. Now you're talking about.
We've stopped talking about Mexicans.
You're talking about
and I know everybody listening is following this very easily, but we stopped talking about Mexicans. We're talking about somebody from Pakistan that wants to come to America.
Okay.
Somebody from other terrorist hotbeds in the world that want to come to America.
Humans care about other humans.
Fair. So what I'm saying is this. These people, I think, that are in South Carolina, these people that are in Alabama, these people are in Kansas, I think that they fear ISIS not only for New Yorkers, right, who will bear the brunt of it, but for themselves. I think.
Why shouldn't they?
And they have
the media is not saying, hey, ISIS is just going to blow up California. The media isn't saying ISIS is just going to blow up New York. Sure. The media said ISIS has a problem with America. Sure. I keep telling you, fucking in the bubble New Yorkers and in the bubble motherfuckers in California. Yeah. America, those two places are not an accurate reflection of America.
Yeah, I agree.
America's the Midwest. America's the motherfucking South.
I agree with
period.
You. And so what I'm trying to say is those people had a realistic fear.
And she should have thrown more red meat to them. That's what you're saying.
No, I'm not saying she should have. I actually preferred her policy. I don't believe in being a blanket prejudice against all Muslims. I think it's disgusting, and I would never support anything like that.
I think that's disgusting anyway.
That
even if
being said, you have to understand that these people in middle America and these people in these red states do have a fear of terrorism, and they do fear that, and that is high up there on their concern list, like illegal immigration, and Trump tapped into that, and once again, Hillary didn't. All Hillary said is, well, everything's fine. We're not going to, we're going to vet them. What do you mean you're going to vet them? Well, we're going to vet them extra. Hey, Tim Kaine, what are you going to do? We're going to look into them real deep. You didn't give people, they ran a shitty, we're not going to do anything different campaign. And when you have more than half of the country saying, we want something different, they're going to go with the guy who wants something different.
Let me ask you a question.
Another failure of Hillary.
Donald Trump would always come at Hillary and say that Hillary wouldn't even use the word radical extremist, right?
Yep. Radical Islam.
Radical Islam.
Mm-hmm.
A good leader doesn't put his people, doesn't scare them unnecessarily. You don't just implement fear into your people just to implement fear into your people. You're the one who just specifically said that in these rural states, they don't have no fear of Muslims, right?
No, I didn't say that. I said they do have a big
But you
fear.
said they shouldn't.
What I said is illogical because they're not going to deal with the
so if it's
repercussions.
illogical for them to have a fear, why put fear in them?
People have illogical fears.
Why not direct it where it is? If I'm Hillary, I direct it towards New York City. I direct it to the major cities. If it's not going to affect the whole country, why just put an irrational fear in them? That's what Trump did.
We do it all the time.
Trump put an irrational fear in them. And I don't think Hillary ran a shitty campaign. What I think Hillary suffered from was what I see a lot of people suffer from. A lot of times when you're the most qualified, when you're the most experienced, when you're the most talented, maybe you don't tend to work as hard. Maybe you play to your competition. Maybe she underestimated her competition. Maybe she felt like there is no way in hell this guy who has no experience, no qualifications, has never held a public office, period, he wouldn't be no threat to me whatsoever.
Yeah.
Maybe she just underestimated her opponent.
No, she just doesn't know how to win. She's never had to win. She doesn't know how to win. She almost lost to a 150-year-old socialist. She almost lost to Bernie. She actually did lose. If Democrats actually respected democracy and didn't have this absurd system of super delegates, which literally strips people of their vote, then she would have lost. Then she lost to a guy who was saying blatantly racist shit and blatantly sexually assaulting women that we have on video. Yeah. It's like it couldn't been. Dave Chappelle said it the best. It's like literally it was LeBron missing dunks. That's what Hillary was. Well, Hillary had a fucking layup, and she was selling out every single fucking time.
But what I said was it's LeBron James playing one-on-one with Peter Griffin.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, you still have to play and you still have to win the game. I don't think it was a slam dunk. I don't think it was a slam dunk simply because of the Clintons' legacy. If people are so anti-establishment like you said, and so anti-government like you said, there's nothing that's more the epitome of that right now than the Clintons. The Clintons are like damn near the Kennedys of this era.
You make a great point, and I think that a lot of people will chalk this election up to whatever their narrative is. The feminists will say, "See, Americans don't want women to be president; they hate women." Minorities will say, "See, racism is alive and well in America, and that's why this." Correct. Now,
it's a little bit of everything.
I think that when you look at things through that lens, you often become blind to the reality of the matter here, which.
Your reality.
Sure, my reality.
This is what you think.
So this is what I think. This is
your narrative.
This is my narrative. In this election, like you just said, we had a huge anti-establishment turnout. Now, if the anti-establishment turnout was only for Trump, I would argue, okay, maybe it is pure racism and sexism. I'm with that. But the anti-establishment turnout also showed up for Bernie. And it showed up for Bernie more so than Hillary before she rigged that fucking election because she's a fucking cheat, and so is the Democratic National Party. They're cheats as well. And I voted for a cheat because I think she'd be a phenomenal president. I think she'd be a phenomenal president, but she cheated, and they know, and they fucking cheated. But there was a huge grassroots approach and support for Bernie Sanders, just like there was a huge grassroots support of Trump, and that is because America as a whole, maybe the racists and the sexists and the open-minded and progressives as a whole came together and said, fuck establishment. For 30 years, establishment hasn't fucking helped us at all. We're sitting here, we're fucking starving, we're suffering. We need change in this country. I'm not voting for the establishment. And you know what? The Republicans, to their credit, actually have a democratically elected process, and Trump was unfortunately able to get through and become the victor. But Bernie should have been the president presidential nominee on the Democratic side, and they should have gone to war. And I think Bernie would have beat Trump. And I said this on a past podcast: if it was Bernie versus Trump, Bernie would have gotten those working class people in the middle America on his side because he is more relatable to them than Donald Trump.
I'm gonna be honest with you. After what I saw last night, I don't know who to beat Trump. I've never seen a slaughter like that in my days and age.
Bernie, because what is Trump going to say to Bernie? Trump is the embodiment of everything Bernie hates.
Trump says things because everything you're saying Trump says that other politicians don't say, that's not true. They say it. They just say it in a political way. Trump says it in a way that you can understand.
You're right.
Trump is 21 Savage, my nigga.
You're right
that's
about
it.
that.
Like he is. Trump says it real simple and plain.
You're right about
simple
that.
and plain.
Yep. He communicates better.
Trump's not saying nothing other politicians haven't said.
Yep.
He just says it simple and plain. He communicates better.
Yep.
A redneck in South Carolina is able to understand that. Yeah, build the wall. You're talking about border patrol and policies and all that.
Yeah.
That goes over some people's heads. Trump is talking directly to those people. He communicates better. I think he would communicate it better than Bernie, and he probably would have beat Bernie.
Right. I don't think he'd beat Bernie. I think Bernie would beat him because he would expose Trump for who he really is.
Schultz, Trump was exposed.
No, Trump was
exposed.
No. But here's the thing:
like I've never seen a person more exposed in any field and still came out clean.
So here's my thing about that, because I was talking to my friends about that, and I was like, look, he's saying to grab by the pussy, and he's saying all these horrible. He calls Mexicans rapists. He said all these horrible things. Even with all those horrible things said, people in Middle America, working class families in Michigan, felt that person would do more for him than the government, than the establishment government that hasn't done shit for them for 30 years.
Which is going to be, which they're going to get a hard reality about that.
That is the case. That is absolutely the case. I definitely think that he sold them a fucking dream, just like politicians have been selling people a dream for fucking years. I absolutely agree with you. But those people were fed up with establishment politics. And like you said earlier, Clinton is the epitome of establishment politics. She's the embodiment of it. If anything, give a fucking anybody new in the Democratic Party a try. Anybody new.
I would love
She's
to see
the epitome of establishment.
Of it. I would love to see if people actually change their minds. Like if they change their minds, or if he just re-energized the new crop of people who never felt like there was a reason to vote. Like that's what I would like to know. I would like to know if people actually said, you know what, I'm gonna fuck with Trump, or if he just re-energized a demographic of people who had never been talked to.
That's. I think there's a little bit of both. But I think I read something yesterday, and it was interesting, and I want to read it to you. But I think this will shed some light on the situation in America that led up to this voting process. For the past 20 years, every demographic in the U.S., cutting across race, gender, age, etc., has seen its life expectancy rise, except for one: poor, lower-educated, middle-aged whites. Not only have they been dying faster, one study suggests 500,000 people in that classification are dead that shouldn't be. But three things are solely responsible for the trend. One is suicide, two is drug overdose, and three is long-term liver failure. In other words, this demographic is literally killing themselves, either quickly and intentionally or slowly over a period of time. And people didn't really start noticing it until a few months ago. And it's not like that story is dominating the headlines even now. This is a group that got clobbered financially by one administration and clobbered socially by the next. It's a group that has seen the world it knew and the world it thought it could expect vanish before its eyes. It's a group that has little savings for its retirement years, which are fast approaching, while simultaneously having worse prospects than ever before in keeping jobs that might get them to retirement. It's a group that has been told for years that is privileged, but is seeing fewer and fewer signs of it. It's a group that's being mocked for supporting the candidates, the promises to bring back America they thought they knew, back before their friends started killing themselves and they started thinking maybe that wasn't such a bad option. If the country knew that 500,000 people in any population segment had died from some more visible cause, there wouldn't be any confusion as to why a candidate addressing that cause was finding an audience. I think it's interesting to note, and I am completely guilty of this. I did not have empathy for poor white people or
you weren't even thinking about
I don't think about them. My vote was for minorities and women. That was my vote.
Listen, you wouldn't think about poor black people if they weren't so loud. And that's the truth to the matter.
Interesting.
That's it. Like, poor white people don't have a voice. Now they had a voice. Donald Trump was white male authorities' Hail Mary pass.
Wow.
That's what this was. This was white male authorities, Hail Mary pass, and Donald Trump caught that motherfucker. Okay?
But
that's all this shit
he
is.
didn't win. What you're saying is true, but he didn't win because of guys driving around South Carolina with with Confederate flags on their pickup or like disaffected auto workers. He smashed her, man. He won because of soccer moms in the suburban bedroom communities of Philadelphia.
What they say,
Boston,
educated white men or educated women?
A lot of people in fine financial shape who are doing just fine voted for this guy. And the really disturbing part about it is a lot of women, a lot of white middle-class women voted for this dude. And you can't chalk that up to their husbands or getting suicide, they're ODing on meth. Or
women are catty.
No.
Women hate other women do not support each other. Let's be clear on that. This is the other thing we need to talk about, okay? It takes a certain strong woman to support another strong woman.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? That's why you see a certain, like you'll see Beyonce, Hillary, or Lena Dunham, Hillary, like those freaking redneck white women in middle America, fuck Hillary.
They took it out on her.
Who is it? This well-spoken ass woman? She got all her teeth. Right. All right.
No, you got to stop saying that. We're talking soccer moms. I'm telling you, man.
I ain't seen no soccer moms.
So look, here they did, Chris. You're right. But they didn't vote for her They didn't vote for her in like an overwhelmingly larger percentage. They did it in a larger percentage than we thought. But it was only a few more percentage points than normal. That's the difference in that cause. But who really came out in support and who really emboldened this Trump race were middle-aged, rural white people. People that honestly, Democrats and liberals, and I know this as a Democrat and liberal my whole life, look down on and belittle and dismiss. Like if you even go 2 hours outside of New York, you go up the Hudson 2 hours, all of a sudden you see these rural whites, and what do liberals call them? They call them townies. Oh, these trailer park trash, white trash. And liberals have been looking down on rural whites for fucking years. And you know what rural whites said this election? Fuck you.
Trailer park trash needed rappers, bro.
Well,
Trailer Parks was
Trailer
Parks was so cool when Eminem was popping. You know why the projects and shit is so cool? Because rappers make them cool.
Yeah.
Now, you know why the hood is cool? Because rappers make them cool. The motherfucking trailer parks ain't cool. Nobody wants to be in the fucking trailer park trash.
Yep.
Think about that. You're in trailer park trash.
Yeah.
Like, you don't respect them. They
isn't
dirty.
even like style.
No.
Like, poor black people have style.
Trailer park trash don't have no style.
Nothing.
You just dirty. And when they look dirty, they look dirty.
Filthy.
Go look at the Trump rallies and tell me that wasn't the people that were supporting them. It was visible. You could see it.
That was the visible aspect. I'm telling you, most of white America voted for this guy.
Let's be clear. Those sneaky ass, covert Trump supporters.
Like
they're in
P.
the
Diddy?
building.
Like Diddy?
It might have been Diddy. I don't know. Diddy might have voted for Trump.
Diddy voted for Trump.
They asked Diddy. Diddy was like, I don't know who I'm going to vote for.
That's
yet.
Trump. Like Diddy. So every time, remember, when you go buy your Ciroc, guys, remember who you're
I'm
supporting.
not going to say Diddy did because I don't know if Diddy did.
You know Diddy did.
I can't jump
Well,
on
you know who Diddy did.
But it definitely was.
Why are you defending him?
Because I don't know if he did. Neither do you.
This motherfucker got Ivanka
crazy.
Trump pins. Come on.
Listen,
Come on, stop it.
sneaky Trump supporters, covert Trump supporters are the worst. I respect any open Trump supporter. If that's what you want to represent, do your thing. But you motherfuckers who'll hear his rhetoric and stand in front of us and be like, oh, it's so bad, it's so disgusting, it's so foul, it's so filthy. Oh, I can't believe you get away with saying that kind of stuff. But then you turn around and vote for him, you're a piece of shit. You're a piece of shit. In the closet Trump supporter is a piece of fucking shit.
Why do you think that they have to be in the closet about it?
That's exactly. Why?
I know why.
Why?
Because they'll get shamed by their fan base.
Who
They'll get
cares?
shamed by the little media. They care. Look, not everybody's willing to.
Bro.
Listen.
If you listen, put it like this. If you were a Trump supporter, right? You're a celebrity and you're a Trump supporter. Guess what? Today you're right. Today you won.
Yeah, but your fan base will crucify you.
Now you got a new fan base of 50 million new motherfuckers who actually supported the goddamn president.
Christie bet right.
A couple.
Rudy Giuliani.
Your new
Right. It's gonna be the new attorney general.
Have fun with that one,
That
guys.
motherfucker got dementia. He's fucking out of his fucking mind. He's probably gonna be the new attorney fucking general,
You
bro.
got dementia?
He got something. Rudy's been at it. Rudy's not thinking like the rest of us, bro.
Yeah.
If you watch Rudy just talks crazy out of his ass. But my point is, listen, fuck Trump for just 1 second.
Yeah.
If you stand for something, stand for something. If that's what you believe, that's what you believe. Because guess what? When you're wrong, only you're going to be wrong about it. And when you're right, only you're going to be right about it. I saw Azalea Banks. She was supporting Trump. Azalea been supporting Trump for like the past year. telling me, no, Trump is the answer, and he's not a politician. This and I'm like, Azealia, you're bugging. No, he's the answer. This and that. About 2 weeks ago, when she was trying to clean up her image, whatever, she's like, and I apologize for supporting Trump. I can't believe I would ever do such a thing. This and that. Today, social media, killing her. I can't believe I let liberal media sway me away from Trump. I feel good for always being a Trump supporter. I'm happy that he was able to beat the media, able to beat them at their own game. She's back on his dick. That's what happens. People jump back on your dick.
And
so
then
if you're a
you
Trump
lose
supporter,
respect for him.
who?
No, I'm saying then you lose respect for those people
I don't
because
think
they
I
don't
would,
have a
Joe.
consistent. I lose respect for an Azealia Banks for going back and forth like that.
I
because there's a
lose
lack
respect
of-
for you flip-flopping.
For flip-flopping,
I
yeah.
respect you if you said, yo, Trump's my guy, and you stuck with that.
Yeah, because they're not flip-flopping. There's no consistency with them. They're just chasing whoever the fucking winner is. I completely agree with you. It's just, yeah, it's a very eye-opening time in America, man.
It's a sad time in America. And guess what? I don't know where we go from here.
You know where we go from here? I think we go get a Loot Crate, everybody. I think in order for us to feel better, we got to go out and get a Loot Crate, because today's episode of Brilliant Idiots is brought to you by Loot Crate. Are you on a quest for epic gear, housewares, and collectibles? Looking for a gift to send that special nerd in your life? Chris, what's wrong, man? You got to get a Loot Crate. You upset?
There's probably Trump shirts in here. It's probably a whole Make America Great Again package in this Loot Crate for this week. If they're smart, that's what they would do. Or you don't want to cater to that audience, huh, Loot Crate?
Loot Crate offers an incredible range of pop culture items for less than $20 a month.
Make America Great Again hats are a pop culture item, by the way.
And they got more than your average crate, too. If you're more of a fanatical fashionista, then the monthly wearables and accessories from Lootwear will fill your closet with cult classics.
As in
and
Donald
your
Trump's
favorite-
cult? The Trumpers?
And if you want to get fancy, get a bigger box with even bigger loot with Loot Crate DX.
November's enchanting theme is magical. Loot Crate has cast a powerful spell to deliver you this 100% exclusive crate featuring bewitching items from Doctor Strange. By the way, fantastic movie.
Oh, you liked it?
Oh, I love Doctor Strange, man. I love Doctor Strange simply because I am intrigued by the superheroes who don't actually have superpowers, or who weren't mutants or anything. Like Doctor Strange's power essentially was just a photographic memory. So he was able to memorize all of those spells. And the underlying ill thing about that movie was Doctor Strange just had to get out of his own way. He had to get rid of his ego. He had to humble his motherfucking self. He had to stop thinking it was about him. He had to listen to other people. When he did that, he became the goddamn illest motherfucker out.
Yeah.
That shit was dope.
I got no clue, but I'll see it off of the recommendation.
Now, Loot Crate has cast a powerful spell, like I just told you. Bewitching items from Doctor Strange, fantastic beats and where to find them. Big Trouble in Little China and more. You've got until the 19th at 9 p.m. Pacific to subscribe and receive that month's crate. And when the cutoff happens, that's it. Make sure to head to www.lootcrate.com/idiots and enter code idiots to save $3 on any new subscription today. Now, where do we go from here? I'm going to tell you where we go from here.
Let's talk about that.
I believe in God. You know, I don't knock nobody who doesn't. I'm just telling you what I believe in. So for me, I'm going to keep God first. I'm going to spread a lot of love because that's what we need right now. I'm going to go above and beyond spreading love to everybody. You know, I mean, just people, period. I want to be around like minds. I want to be around like energy. And the second most important thing after, you know, having faith in God is you got to get this money.
Let's go.
The reason you got to get this money, because can't nobody save you. You got to save yourself.
Amen.
Can't no head of state save you. All right? Can't no motherfucking mayor save you. Can't no governor save you. You have to empower yourself by getting this motherfucking money. Figure out a way to, you know, just be independent. Like if you got a job, use that money from a job to go invest in something else that's for you. Something that you can be the CEO of. Jay-Z said, government, fuck government, we politic ourselves. That is a fact. Because at the end of the day, when you empower yourself, you're enabled to empower others. When you empower others, you're directly empowering your community. And one community can change a whole motherfucking town. One town can change a whole motherfucking state. One state can change a whole motherfucking nation. One nation can change the world. That's what we got to do from this point on.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I think that we need to understand that this is something that's happened and feel it.
Yeah.
Feel sad. Feel depressed.
No,
Feel
but turn it into something
angry.
Yeah.
Feel all of these emotions. It is important that we recognize how we feel about major decisions.
But don't let them hold you down.
Don't let them hold you down, but feel them, because those feelings are something you should remember the next time an election comes up that you really care about.
Oh, my God.
Those feelings should be the ones you remember when you want to vote for your mayor, when you want to vote for your senator, when you want to vote for your House of Representatives in 2 years. Whenever you want to vote for possible change, when you want to vote for judges, whoever the fuck it is. Feel these things, because you're directly involved in this process. If there's one thing that we learned from this election on both the Democratic and Republican side, is that if people want a candidate, there's nothing a super PAC can do. There's nothing the Koch brothers can do. There's nothing that the most money and finance in the world can do. If the people fuck with a candidate, we can take them to the top, as long as the Democratic fucking party gets out the way.
I don't want to hear shit about elections being rigged.
Because the one who rigged the election, the Democratic Party, maybe this is their karma for stealing the election from the American people. Not for stealing it for Hillary Clinton, but for stealing it from the Democratic people. Maybe this is their karma.
I think that clearly America still has a issue with racism. We know that. Still has an issue with sexism. We know that. Has an issue with classism. With all that said, there's no way a black man would have been president for 8 years if the people didn't want it. And there's no way the executive producer of Celebrity Fucking Apprentice, a man who has no motherfucking qualifications, who's never held a fucking political government office, would be the president-elect right now if the people didn't want it. America got to stop that shit, by the way. You got to have some fucking more, there got to be some more fucking rules and regulations to running for president. Like, you gotta at least hold fucking some type of office. Can you be a fucking student class principal or something? Like something. You can't just be able to be like, you know what, I feel like running for president and up and do it. That's not right. I can't do that in any other field of work. I can't just go play in the NBA right now.
Yeah, that's true.
I can't just go try out.
Yeah.
Hey, Lakers, y'all holding tryouts? I want to try out. They don't do open tryouts for the Lakers. Or do they? I don't fucking know.
You know why? You don't have to be good at anything to be president.
Jesus
That's
Christ.
the problem. You have to be good at basketball to be a basketball player. You have to be good at radio to be on the radio. You don't have to be good at anything to be president.
But you should be.
But you fucking should. Like George Washington was a fucking general. Did he lose more wars than more battles than any other American general in history? Absolutely. But he was still a general.
Barack Obama was a rapper, a poet. That motherfucking spoken word is so fire.
Yes.
Barack would get up there and speak and be like, you know what, make that man the leader of the free world.
Amazing public speaker. But
Hillary
literally,
Clinton's just as qualified, more qualified than George Washington was when he took over.
I agree with you.
In what way?
Because she was in the White House, which is an incredibly intricate
She's got
place
12
to be
years of
for
White House experience.
8 years.
12,
Secretary of State for an administration, another 4 years, and a U.S. Senator. That's way more experience.
So what
than
I'll
George
say
Washington
is,
ever
I'll
had.
say this.
No one's more experienced than Hillary Clinton.
I'll say this. I'll say you're comparing George Washington's experience in American government when there was no America yet. So
Listen,
I don't think that equates. But what I'm trying to
She's the
say,
most qualified candidate ever.
look.
If not ever, equal, certainly.
No, she's obviously had her qualifications. You can't deny the fact that she's had experience in the position. And I'm not talking about being a first lady. I don't consider that experience. I'm talking
course
about
it's experience.
senator and secretary of state. Well, giving tours of the White House ain't an experience.
She wasn't giving.
You're
See,
being
that's the
very
sexist
sexist.
shit, man.
Stop.
That's that
You're being
bullshit.
sexist
as fuck.
That's that bullshit,
Okay.
man.
She is so sexist.
She and Bill.
Why is it sexist?
Because she's a team and she's an incredibly bright person.
You said towards the White
That's
House.
what they do. They give fucking
she
so they
fucking
pick out the
counsels
drinks. Put some fucking dandelions over there. I like that one.
Their House of Cards. You watch House of Cards?
Huh?
You watch House of Cards?
Stop believing TV shows, Chris. Come
That's House
on.
of Cards. They're a team, man.
No.
She's an attorney. You think she was just sitting there doing drapes? Every single thing Bill did, she was in that decision-making process.
You don't know that. You don't know that.
And you
You're
don't know
just
she was
saying
doing
shit.
grapes.
Yes, I do.
How?
Because that's the role of the first lady.
Yeah.
The role of the
And
first
talking to
lady.
your husband is the role of the first lady, too.
But you don't know that. All I can judge you on, no. All I can judge you on is what your role is as assigned by the government of the United States of America. That's all I can tell you. Now, was she in the room with her husband talking to her? Is that what you do with your wife? Maybe. Was she in the room with her husband talking? Maybe she was, maybe she wasn't. But that was not her role assigned to her by the United States government, okay?
You think
When
Michelle
she was
Obama knows
Secretary
a
of
lot
State,
about how
when she
government
was
runs?
Secretary of State,
Yes.
and when she was Senator, I consider that experience, and I will credit her for that. But I'm not going to credit her for your assumption of what she did as a wife. That is sexism.
No,
that is sexist to assume just because she's married to the president.
What are you talking about?
Say again?
What do you think she didn't
First of all, for the record, that's a ridiculous argument. Secondly,
why is it ridiculous? Prove to me why it's ridiculous. You are making an assumption based on zero factual knowledge whatsoever.
I'll tell you what
zero
knowledge I'm
empirical
basing it
evidence. Go.
She's an attorney. Okay.
Okay.
She had been involved in politics on a state and a local level with Bill Clinton. All right. So to think that she's going to be in the White House for 8 years and limit herself to hosting duties is insane.
What proof do you have that she did?
I don't
otherwise?
have any proof. I'm
exactly.
not in the West
That's
Wing.
it.
I got a little bit of proof.
Exactly.
How?
Barack Obama is not going to appoint somebody Secretary of State who he doesn't think was qualified.
But
Like,
when
it's
he
just that
appointed
simple.
her, she was already a senator. That's my point. Is I think
Okay, how about look at the argument this
I'll
way.
give her credit for her.
You have to bet
for
your
her
life.
work.
You have
I
to
give
bet
her
your
credit
life
for her
right
work.
now.
Yeah.
Okay, your life is on the line. You have to bet. Was Hillary Clinton limited to hosting at the White House, or was she involved and knowledgeable of policy decisions? Bet your life.
Define involved.
Counseled. Did she counsel Bill Clinton about major policy decisions? Was she active?
Did he ask his wife what she thinks? Yeah, of course he asked his wife what she thinks. Did he value that over whoever his chief of staff is and whoever his secretaries are? Absolutely not. Absolutely
As
not.
America's First Lady, Hillary Rodham Clinton continued to balance public service and private life, chairing the National Commission on Healthcare Reform. She convened hearings around the nation,
Talk about that
testified
political
before
battle.
Congress, and helped craft legislation. She led the fight to pass the Children's Health Insurance Program, worked to increase funding for cancer research and treatment, osteoporosis, and juvenile diabetes, and supported the Brady Bill and the assault weapons ban. Ms. Clinton won many admirers for her commitment to children and women issues. Her book, It Takes a Village and Other Lessons Children Teach Us, was a bestseller, and she received a Grammy for her recording of it. Her weekly column drew attention to issues confronting families. In 2000, Hillary made history again when, after a 16-month campaign, she became the first woman elected to the U.S. Senate. She was not just the first lady. She was doing her thing when she was first lady.
Hearing all that, I remember she was actually criticized for being too involved.
That's what I remember. When I saw the documentary, they was like, Bill's always hiding behind his wife.
Sure. Great.
That's what I used to. That's when I saw that documentary. That's what they said. I don't know if they were spinning that to make her look good, but Hillary was not just some first lady.
Great.
Dressing nice and
listen. I'm sure
taking pictures.
I'm sure doctors talk to their wives all the time about the surgeries they do, and I'm sure that a doctor's wife knows a lot more about heart surgery than I know about heart surgery. But the reality is if I'm going to get heart surgery, I'm not going to go with the doctor's wife. I'm going to go with the fucking heart surgeon. Okay, we got to stop acting just because you're around somebody that does something doesn't mean that they're going to be good at it. Is your wife good at radio?
No, but she's not a radio personality. Hillary is a politician. She's good at politics.
But she wasn't a politician until after she was the first lady. That's my point.
That's not
now,
true.
can your wife say some interesting things?
She was the first lady of Arkansas. She was doing the same type of stuff.
Again, first lady. So can your wife say interesting things? Probably by proxy of her just being interesting. Absolutely. Probably by proxy of her being around you and hearing you say interesting things and having interesting discussion and seeing how you are on the radio. Yes, she'll probably have a better chance of being a radio personality than someone else's wife who is not a radio personality just by proxy of being around you and seeing what you do and the work ethic you put into it. But that doesn't make her a fucking radio personality.
Jackie O couldn't be president, bro.
Say again?
Jackie O couldn't be president.
But she would look good.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying?
She'd have some nice dresses.
Barbara Bush couldn't be president, bro. Like, no. Laura Bush couldn't be president. Like, it's taped. She has a certain je ne sais quoi about her that makes her
I voted for her. I think she would have been a phenomenal president. I mean that. I just think that I didn't think she had it in her to win the presidency. I just don't think she had it in her to do it.
We didn't have it in us. I mean, I think if anybody let her down, it
took it for
was
granted.
white middle-class America. Like,
that's her job to get that vote.
No,
you earn someone's vote. You earn their vote.
It's our fault, too.
No, that's her fault.
No, it's
Somebody
our fault.
said some real shit the other day, too. They said Hillary might have focused on African Americans too much.
Well, in terms of numbers.
Because she might have just took for granted that vote that Chris was just talking about and really embraced African Americans. She was talking about police reform, police brutality. She had the mothers of the movement, with her. So think about it. If you're a person that you hate Barack, you're ready to get that over with.
Right.
You don't want somebody coming in and continuing that agenda and probably embracing African Americans more than we've ever seen Barack do.
Because she had to. Barack didn't have to.
Speaks to the racism of middle America. It all comes back to the same thing.
This dude last night at the Hillary Clinton campaign said the realest thing to me. I don't want to say his name because he's part of the campaign, but he was like, every sitting president makes way for, it was a woman who told me this actually, every sitting president makes way for the next president. And this group of people's disdain for Barack Obama and a black president set the stage for somebody like a Donald Trump.
You know what? Just like Bush set the stage for Barack.
Bush set the stage. Bush set the stage for Barack.
You're absolutely right.
And the Bush before that set the stage for Clinton.
For Clinton, yeah. They often say this. They're like every job, that you leave is a reflection of the job you're about to get. I'm butchering essentially what
that's right.
Or every relationship every relationship you're in it dictates the next relationship. So if you're with some overbearing, crazy girlfriend, the next girl you get is going to be some hippie, relaxed. Hey, let's do anything. Let's be chill. Yeah. And I think that you're making a very good point. I think that Barack Obama, maybe for his race, maybe for his policies, maybe for a bunch of reasons, became the scapegoat for white America, the rural white America. And they said, I don't want that anymore.
Think about this.
Yeah, you're right.
If we can both sit here and say that these rural Americans, you can tell them that Muslims are responsible for their problems, or Mexicans are responsible for their problems. Whoa! Imagine pointing at a black man in the White House.
Sure.
And saying that nigga right there is the reason
he doesn't care
why
about
you
you.
can't make it.
Yeah,
he don't care about you.
Yeah.
You hate him.
Sure.
So now when somebody just comes along, and I don't know if this was strategic or not. Maybe it was. Maybe it was. Maybe Donald was like, "Oh, I'm gonna rile him up. I'm gonna come out here and say this wild shit directly about these two groups. I'm gonna attack Barack Obama. I'm gonna say he's the worst president of all time. I can't say he's bad because he's black, because I still need some of that African American vote. But I'm gonna go in on this motherfucker." That shit probably was all strategic, and it worked.
It's interesting. It might have been strategic. I know that he's been on Barack for a while, and I think it was more he saw something work, and the businessman that he was, he went with it. And I think that's something that a politician really doesn't have the mind for, right? A politician is thinking about serving their base, and a businessman doesn't care about their base, right? Like Trump literally said, "Fuck you" to the Republican Party.
Trump did what I told you people would do if they have a celebrity fan base.
Which is?
If you're a celebrity and you're endorsing Trump.
Yeah.
And motherfucking, people give you flack for that shit. Fuck my base.
Yeah.
I'm going to build a new
Yeah, I got followers.
I got
1 million followers on Twitter. I don't fucking need you. Well, here's the thing that we need to understand as Americans, and I know there's a lot of people around the country and even around the world probably listen to this podcast. America has had shitty presidents before. We will persevere. This has never been a problem with us in the past,
it's a little different,
and it won't be a problem with us in the future. This is not a little different. We've had horrendous people in office, and we have a system of checks and balances. It's nothing like this. We dropped a fucking nuclear weapon on Japan. There is nothing that Trump could do to trump that.
He could do
no,
that.
he won't do that. My point is, this is America.
What makes you think he wouldn't
He's
do
not
that?
going to do that. This is America. We will persevere.
He's got the House and the Senate,
We
man.
always persevere. This is the greatest country in the world, and we'll make sure it is the greatest country in the world, and we will continue to make sure it's the greatest country in the world. And I'm not going to have this fucking loser mentality that you have right now shitting on the country, because that's not what we need right now. We need to understand we're the fucking greatest country in the world.
What it just fucking
yes,
did.
we do.
It was the greatest country.
Yes, we do.
The greatest country doesn't do this.
No. Listen.
The greatest country doesn't do this.
What you're denying.
Is this worse than Brexit?
Yes.
Yeah, because England doesn't affect the world as much as we do. Brexit was pathetic, but we have to understand this is a global trend. A lot of people are only looking at this through an American lens, right?
We said this on the podcast.
But governments around the world are trending towards anti-establishment, right? You have Brexit.
That I can see.
Distrust.
I haven't seen one work yet, though.
Brexit.
You got to show me when that works.
Brexit, complete distrust. America, and this is not just Trump. We're talking about Bernie and Trump. So anti-establishment. We have France right now. You have Marine fucking whatever her name is, who's the daughter of like a vile fucking racist, is running and has 40% of her party. Well, no, Merkel is not anti-establishment. Merkel's going to get kicked out. Yeah, Merkel's going to get kicked out, and probably rightfully so. I think taking on 1 million refugees and 1 million more the next year was a horrible
Everything you're
idea.
saying is correct. The problem is Trump is what we got out of it, and I don't think people understand how bad this guy is.
Nah, man, I don't think they do either. I think
He's
we
bad.
don't get it yet.
I don't think it's going to be as bad as you guys think. I really don't.
think
And
it's
this
gonna
is somebody
I
who
think it's going to be worse.
I believe in the system of checks and balances in this country. I believe in a system that was set up to restrict power from one branch of government. And I don't care if all branches of
He's
government.
got all three.
Understand, Trump does not have all three. The Republicans and Trump are not together. Understand that.
Right.
So Republican ideology and Trump ideology are not the same, and they never have been throughout this campaign. So we have to understand that a Republican House and a Republican Senate might not have the same ideology as a Trump. So therefore, Trump won't be able to push his agendas through Congress.
I agree with what he's saying, but that's the thing. This is my biggest problem with Trump. What is the agenda? What is the agenda?
Build a wall.
Build a
His
wall.
agenda,
Muslims.
I'll tell you what
His
Trump's agenda is.
Yeah.
Make money for Trump.
That's
And
what I think.
that's
too.
what you're going to see
I'm gonna tell you
happening.
what Trump's going to do, and
He's going to loot this fucking country.
I think he's going to
loot this country.
I think
Not
he's
wrong.
going. I think he's
Shout out to Loot Crate.
Listen, I think Trump's going to clear all his debt, right? I think he's going to pardon himself from
Pardon
any
himself
sexual
of
assault
anything.
crimes that he has, all right? And I think he's just going to motherfucking milk this bitch dry, too.
Dry.
I really do.
Dry.
I really feel that,
This
yo.
shit is up for sale starting
Yeah.
today.
More-
I really feel
Question:
that way, yo.
Loot it more so than the Clintons?
Yes.
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 Okay.
Not even
Yes.
close.
Yes.
Okay. Just making sure.
Not even close.
I just
I
want to
know
make. I
about
just
the
want to make sure.
Foundation.
I just
I'm
want to
under
make
no
sure
illusions
when we're
about-
talking about people looting, the people that we voted
Hey,
for and we
hey,
want to be
it's gonna be
president,
child's
they
play.
looted.
The
It's gonna be
Clintons
child's
have
play.
never looted a town in America. Now Haiti, all right, all right. At least you'll get him that respect, okay? Donald's about to take Cleveland out. Detroit is a wrap, all right. All of these motherfucking places where ain't shit
No.
been happening, he's getting all of that, buddy.
I believe in America. I believe in what we've done. I believe we're
believe in-
stronger than. I believe we're stronger than any president could be. I honestly believe that we are stronger than any president. And if we don't like what this president done in the next 4 years, he's fucking out of there.
But see,
Because
you're
this
think-
is what the fuck we do,
You're
and
think-
we've done this since 1776,
You're
and
thinking
we're
on
not
just
going to
the-
stop doing this
you're
shit.
thinking
I
on just the-
believe in this fucking country, and everybody else should. We keep with our ideals.
No, believe in
and we
yourself.
don't allow a racist piece of shit to change our ideals.
You don't have to change your ideas, but he is going to change the climate of this country. He's
No,
already
he took
energized-
advantage of the
he's
climate.
already energized a bunch of motherfuckers.
He gave them a voice. He did not energize them. They were already
don't need to be
there.
talking.
They were already there.
They-
Listen,
they don't need to be talking.
what
We
if
don't-
people said that about black people?
Listen, man.
This is the problem.
Some of us don't need to be fucking talking. I didn't want you to bring me here. But
There's
now that
no-
you brought me here,
All right,
some
tell
of us need to shut the fuck up too. It's a lot of motherfucking Negroes out here that caused a lot of other black people not to vote, and they had no motherfucking good ideas, no plan B to not voting, okay? And now we're here. Yes, everybody don't need a fucking voice. We need to stop this shit. Black, white, Asian, Jewish, everybody don't need a voice. You know who needs to be talking? The smart people.
Informed.
The informed people. The people who actually want unity. Not the people who cause division. Not the people who sit around and discuss problems all day with no fucking solutions. Everybody don't need a voice. And when these motherfuckers who don't need a voice start talking, shut them the fuck up.
So, to your point about being educated and informed, the problem with our political system is most people are dumb, right? And since most people are dumb and uninformed, both parties, the Republican and Democrats, have to cater to dumb people, right? So what happens is they make all their arguments for the dummies. They don't make arguments for smart, informed voters. Even if they did, the dummies wouldn't even understand it and they'd lose the election. So stupid people are literally bringing down the intellectual awareness of even the candidates and the issues we're talking about. Like the wage gap is not about wages. It's about maternity leave. It has nothing to do with a gap in wage. It's about maternity leave. We should be having a discussion about maternity leave, but because people are too stupid to understand that, we have to talk about the wage gap, which isn't even the issue.
I take that for granted. Like I had a few people hitting me on Twitter this morning, you know, telling me that I should have took the interviews with Hillary more serious because I could have raised more awareness. And I hit the girl. I said, awareness about what? And this one dude goes, oh, that's the most arrogant thing I ever heard you say. Awareness about what? I'm like, no, what did y'all want to be made aware of? Like what? She's been a politician for 30 years. Mm-hmm. I would hope you was watching debates. I would hope you was watching
She
her
doesn't
speak.
grab women by the pussy.
No, I'm just saying.
She doesn't hate
I'm
Mexicans.
just trying to figure out what do you want to
Or Muslims.
be made aware of. You don't know her policies. Like, I take for granted that people aren't as invested in things as I am. That people don't actually pay attention to things like I do. That people don't read like I do. That some people's only source of news is social media.
Yep.
Their only source of news is the fucking Breakfast Club.
Here, you know what? You're absolutely right about
I
that.
take that for granted. I do.
And that, first of all, that's not your fault. That people have to be held accountable to a certain extent for the people that they vote for. But I think that we need to understand that Hillary kind of had her hands tied behind her back, Charlamagne, because if she tried to get some of that rural white vote, what would she have lost?
Black people.
Exactly.
In Spanish, probably.
She'd lose blacks. She'd lose Hispanics. And she knew that she wasn't going to get that rural white vote. You're not going to pry that away from the Republicans.
But she thought she'd get the soccer moms. I think that's.
And that was her arrogance. You think just because you have a pussy and another woman has a pussy that women can't make decisions outside of their pussies?
Dads. I'm talking about middle class, lower middle class suburban Americans.
You know what I would have did if I was
would
Hillary?
never vote for a maniac like Donald Trump did. That's what no one could believe.
You know what Hillary didn't do that she should have did?
What?
Tapping the women, bro.
She tried.
She should have been out there talking that woman struggle for real.
That's the
nah.
You guys are also not talking about a big piece of this.
What?
Russia, man. They affected this election.
So here's the
Everybody keeps talking about Russia. Tell me
so here's the scariest thing that I heard about Russia.
It could be a coup.
So
this could have been a coup.
So here's the scariest thing I heard.
T.I.'s clothing line?
Yes.
What the fuck T.I.'s clothing line got to do with this?
So shout out to Amir. Amir, tell us what the fuck's going on. Okay, so this is the scariest thing I heard about the Russia shit. So they said that Russia meddled in the election. They dropped all the bombshells about Hillary, made Hillary, drop the WikiLeaks. Podesta, had all the emails come out making Hillary look shady, right? And they geared the election towards a Trump victory. Wait for it. This is the scary shit. Because they have more dirt on Trump.
And now he's beholden to them.
And now Trump is beholden to Russia because Trump obviously has tons of dirt. Yeah, a little grab him by the pussy. Bam, he could be doing
all the Russian businessmen and 13-year-old girls that guy was running around with, man. Forget about it.
I don't see. Trump is Teflon,
honestly, that wouldn't hurt him.
No, Trump is Teflon.
The only thing that would hurt him is money. The thing that
if you're a bankrupt billionaire in America, and as he's been several times, looking for funding, where are you going?
Oh, the
dirty fucking Russian
the only thing that could
oligarch,
scare
man.
Americans. Now, here's the thing: the only thing that could scare Americans is money connections, that kind of shit. I don't think there's anything Trump could do, including have sex with an underage girl. I don't even think that would affect Americans because he could literally go out and go, listen, she looked old. I thought she was 18. They gave her the ID, said she was 18. Now, I will say this, though. I feel that Hillary's people must have done their due diligence on Trump, and I don't think if they had information that he was corrupt and connect with Russia, that they. I think if they had information, they would have released that.
There's a whole school of thought that they did have information, and I'm just reporting this. I don't know if it's true or not, but there's a school of thought that they had information, but it also
implicated
Bill.
Oh no, but that's about the fucking girls
Epstein.
shit.
Yeah, Epstein.
I'm not talking about fucking girls. I'm talking about crooked business deals.
That I don't know.
Chris, they went and found audio from the year 2000 of him grabbing pussies. If they had mad dirt on Trump, they'd have found it already.
I'm with you on that. I think that
who released all those emails that only hurt Clinton? You don't think Trump has tons of emails that would have hurt him? Tons?
No.
Why?
Because he's Donald Trump. I've said this from the beginning, too. You can't hold Donald Trump to the standard of other politicians because he's not a fucking politician. So if that motherfucker was sniffing coke 12, 15 years ago, he was a fucking celebrity. Like, that's what celebrities fucking do. You can't hold him to the same standard. Like, if Kanye West runs for president in 2020, you going to really be upset with him?
But they're still doing strategy. They're still talking about stuff. The Hillary stuff, the emails that killed her weren't because she was sniffing coke or doing that stuff. It was all the inner political stuff that they released. He has emails like that.
I don't think that shit hurt her with the public, yo.
Oh, yeah, man. I think that's where we're in a bubble because I know a couple of guys who were into the whole Alex Jones
niggas
stuff.
don't read. All right? Nobody read them goddamn WikiLeaks.
Let me tell you something.
Okay.
Charlamagne has never been more right. Because people have been talking about these emails for years.
better
The
fix
second
that
they
before the
said
book comes out.
33,000, I was like, I ain't reading
Shit.
33,000.
How many? I'm seriously. How many
Fuck outta here.
WikiLeaks did you read? I might read a line.
I didn't even read a line.
I might read one email. I'm not going through these
I read
shit.
a lot of them.
140 characters. Honestly, you know the best way to
Chris
not...
said he read a lot of them. Like he's
You
not
ain't
an
read no
author.
fucking
but
emails,
he's an
Chris.
author
You don't
for
even
a
answer
living.
my text messages. How the fuck are you going to read 33,000 WikiLeaks?
How many of the emails you read, Schultz?
0.
Exactly. Why who the fuck reads WikiLeaks? The font was all fucked up.
Tell me one.
Put
Tell
that
me
shit
about
on a
one.
meme, bro.
I mean, you have the whole Wasserman Schultz thing with going back to the whole Bernie thing.
Yeah.
I read all those emails.
Yeah.
I read the Podesta ones that talked about the questioning of her judgment, and she has bad. I can't remember what the term was.
I didn't read
optics.
none of them shit. I saw all the headlines.
Like I
though.
think they
I saw
really,
the headlines of them shit.
They really hurt her to a lot of people.
Listen,
because
Wasserman Schultz has my last name, and I still didn't
he
read
still
it.
didn't fuck
I still think sexism had a lot to do with it too, though.
80%.
No.
Yeah, man.
No.
Yeah.
If Hillary spoke to the voting
you something.
base, then they would have come out. She didn't.
Let me tell you something else.
That's simple.
One of the girls last night in Hillary's campaign, she goes, I don't want to play the sexism card, but she said when we was, because she was stumping for Hillary when she was running against Barack too.
Yeah.
So she said she called New Hampshire one day, and she said the guy answered the phone. She started talking about Hillary, and he goes, I don't want to hear this shit. I'll vote for that nigger if I vote for a cunt.
Son, no bullshit, bro. I'm in Florida, right? And I'm at a bar. And the LSU game is on, and you know LSU was getting crushed in the beginning of the season, right?
Yeah.
He goes, and I'm sitting next to this guy, and he goes, LSU's getting fucking destroyed. Jesus Christ, we got LSU getting destroyed, and a cunt is about to be president. I can't believe
Yo,
it.
I'm telling you, I think sexism played a big role, man. Like
From other women.
both. I think it's both.
From
No.
other
See,
women.
I don't think it's sexism with other women. I just think women don't support each other. Women are just catty. I'll be honest
I
with
mean,
you.
you can call it whatever you want.
But I think it's something. It's a lot of sexism that comes into play, which I don't understand because women are the CEOs of our life.
right.
Whether it's your mother, your grandmother, your aunt, you get married, it's your wife, it's your daughters. They run us anyway. What was Hillary being president gonna hurt?
Oh, what?
But somebody else said some real shit too. Somebody said Barack 8 years, and then Hillary. That's too much of a threat to the white male authority power structure.
Absolutely.
They couldn't stand that.
Look, it was devastating to have to wake my daughters up this morning. They really thought they were waking up to the first woman president. And when I had to tell, like, they were looking at me like, what happened? That's funny.
Yeah.
I can't wait. I hope this guy has, like, fucking 5 daughters, man.
My daughter
I'm going to
is-
love every second of it.
My daughter
I
is
can't
8.
wait.
You can't wait for what?
You're going to have, like, 5 daughters, and it's going to fuck your head up. I
No,
love
it's
it.
not.
Listen,
and
my
they're gonna
daughter-
be bosses, just like my mom is a
Okay,
boss.
My
Ivanka.
daughter is 8.
Because I'm not gonna I'm not gonna
Okay,
raise them with
Ivanka.
this victimology
Okay,
bullshit
Ivanka.
that they can't do something
Yeah.
because they're a woman.
But it's
I'm
not-
gonna say,
no,
go
no, no,
out
guess
there,
what?
go get your money,
But this is
go
what- no,
handle
no.
your business, just like my mom told
This
me.
is what
And if
you're
you want to
missing.
be
This is
fucking
what you're
president, then you could be fucking president because that's exactly what the fuck you can do.
Yes.
They're going to
Guess what,
handle their
Schultz?
business better than Hillary?
But guess what? When you're
Hillary didn't handle her business well.
Hillary handled her business.
But listen,
She cheated to win the Democratic primary.
And
This is what
JFK
we're all
cheated to
missing.
win the fucking general election. He still got elected president.
This is
Say
what
again?
part of politics, man.
So you're okay with cheating now?
listen. This is what we're all missing.
So you're okay with cheating?
We're missing how much of a letdown this is to women.
Huge.
Women were let down. Their
Huge.
team lost.
Yeah, because they didn't support each
And
other.
they're not
Like,
gonna
they
get another
never
chance
support
for
each
20
other.
more
They're
years
not
now.
going to get another chance for 20
Let me
more
ask you a question.
years.
When we had a black candidate, who showed up?
Black people.
And who is a minority in this country?
Black
a
people.
vast minority. But who the fuck showed
Black
up?
people.
Black people did what? They showed up. Did they not?
Yes.
Now we have a
Women
women.
showed up, they just
we
voted
have
for
a
the wrong
women
person.
candidate, right? We have a woman candidate. Not a squeaky clean one. I'm going to be honest. Not squeaky clean at all. Has her problems.
Absolutely.
Definitely has her problems with women. And what happened? Women
Got
did
crushed.
not show up. Now, I'm one of these people that doesn't believe in voting for someone because of genitalia. Okay? I'm not going to hold you accountable to electing a woman to be president if you disagree with every single one of her political views just because she has a pussy and so do you. I think that's preposterous. But if you're only voting for pussy, like black people only voted for the black guy,
No, that's not true though. Because
Stop it.
I never thought about voting for Al Sharpton when he ran.
Barack
That never crossed my mind.
Barack Obama.
Jesse Jackson won South Carolina.
I didn't. I was a kid then.
Barack Obama could have ran on the platform. I'm going to turn all white people into slaves, and black people would have come out in droves and supported him. And you know what?
Dr. Umar Johnson can run on that platform and we'll support him. You gonna get some white slaves? I need me a couple white slaves. Goddamn it. All right, let's put these motherfuckers in slavery. But if you really want to see the disappointment, look at it through a kid's eye. We take it for granted. I talked to my daughter. My daughter, all she knows is Barack. All she knows is Michelle. She was literally genuinely excited about Hillary. She don't know about Benghazi and the emails and all that. All she sees is this strong woman going to bat against the guys. Like, that's what women gravitate towards.
A bad guy, an asshole, a bully.
And she knows this about Trump. We don't talk about none of this.
You could have used those exact words to describe Clinton.
Listen, we don't talk about none of this in my house.
Yeah.
I've never been like, Trump's bad dude. I don't do that. I don't do that to my daughter. I don't plant those seeds. I just like to listen to her pure thoughts. She's like, he's stupid. It's like, why is he so mean? Why is he talking about? He hates women. Like, this is her at 8 years old coming to these conclusions. Yeah, she was legit let down last night.
Especially kids of color, man. Like, even my kids were like, hold on, well, Amon Agung, my wife's parents, they're like, they're not from America. Like,
what did you just say?
Amon Agung, that's Chinese for granddad and grandmother.
Oh, okay. I thought he was naming another clothing line.
You expect us to know that shit?
I thought he was naming another clothing line.
You threw that out there and thought that Charlemagne and Andrew Schultz would know what Amon Agung was.
You just shot down a coup. I thought his daughter got some designer shit on.
Amon Agung.
Amon and Agung. I thought it was a spell from Doctor Strange.
No, they're trying to do the math of they're going to get deported because in their mind, people who aren't born in the U.S. or whose parents aren't born in the U.S., he doesn't want them here. And that's a powerful thing if you're 7 and 9 years old and you think the president doesn't want people that look like you or come from backgrounds like you.
What are you putting out there in the world?
I didn't put anything out. I'm like Charlemagne. I don't talk about this stuff.
When did Trump say that he doesn't want people whose grandparents aren't born here?
Listen, man, when you're 7 and 9 years old, you're not a policy expert. You
His
hear things from other kids. And that's what my 7-year-old said that. My 7-year-old said that. But his grandparents were from Germany. Why would we be in trouble?
Remember when Hillary used to bring out that was the Muslims' concern. They'd be like, yo, my parents are concerned that they're going to be deported. My grandparents are concerned they're going to be deported.
Kids pick up on that stuff. Kids pick up on that stuff.
So, yeah, I mean, if
you got a lot of scared kids. Honestly, no bullshit. A lot of scared kids out there today.
Sure. And if your grandparents think that they're going to be deported because they're Muslim, they're stupid and uninformed, and they should maybe look into the policy, and maybe they're the reason why people like this guy get elected, because people don't know what the fuck they're voting for in the first place. He's never said that at all. So if your fear is related to your own stupidity, I can't really feel bad for you.
Do you know
that's not even fair?
Do you know
why is that not fair?
Because
just
there's
do
an
a fucking
element
Google
of
search.
Nativism. Also, you it's very easy.
I'm an immigrant.
No. You're a white immigrant, and there's a big fucking difference, man. When you're a white immigrant coming from United Kingdom.
Well, my mom's an immigrant. Yeah.
Anyway, you're not afraid of the government. You're willing to sit here and challenge the government, as you should be. When you're an immigrant and you don't speak the language and you don't look the same as the power structure, you don't be like, well, fuck that. Google says I can do this.
There's nothing to do with look the same. It's just you don't want to go back. You don't want to go back to the shitty situation you're from. It has nothing to do with challenging power. It's people from the United Kingdom that are here go, I could go back to the UK. It won't be that bad. Nobody wants to go back to Amon Agung. Or where the fuck that shit is. You don't want to be back in a Monagoon land. That sounds fucking awful. You fled that shit.
I worried about my daughter going to school this morning because of this reason. My homegirl's a principal in Chicago just texted me. She said by 7:30 a.m., Latino students in the south side of Chicago High School were bullied. They were harassed and told that they would be sent back to Mexico. The school is pulling up the video as I type. That's the kind of bullshit that we're going to be dealing with for at least the next... And I hope not the whole next 4 years. I hope this shit. No. I hope it has this little run because it's gonna have a little run, maybe a year of some bullshit.
The problem is this: is the economy going to collapse? That's what this is all about.
Yes.
If the economy fucking collapses, which I think there's a great chance. Look, this is the one thing all these fucking stupid white middle class people are overlooking. When Obama came into office in 2008, the economy was on the brink of collapse. They had to get tarps. They had to bail out all these big companies. Shit was looking. They had special meetings in the White House. Remember all that stuff.
Yeah.
We are in a much, much better place 8 years later.
God bless.
We are on thin ice. This guy is going to crash us right through it. And if the economy collapses, it's going to be open season on immigrants.
Yep.
It's going to be open season
Absolutely right.
on blacks. It's going to be open season on Jews. Jews, get ready,
black,
Jews.
Not blacks and Jews as much.
No, when the
we got new targets, man.
No. Historically, when economies collapse,
you got new targets.
Hey, make it clear that you're not a Jew.
You're
now,
in the past, bro.
Chris, we got
Step
new
it up.
targets, bro.
Okay, we got Chinese and Muslims.
Okay.
We
Let's
got
define
Mexican.
it. The poor gonna get it, regardless of what
No,
poor
but the
you
poor
are.
are going to hand it out.
What do you mean?
No.
The poor white people are going to be the ones who hand it out.
I understand what he's
Oh,
saying.
you mean like take it like fucking people up?
Like,
What he's trying to say
who's
is
at
like,
fault here?
like for example, in
Immigrants, number
Germany
one.
when the economy sucked, they made
went after the
Jews
socialists.
the
Socialists.
scapegoats,
Yeah.
right? And the same thing will happen for Mexicans. The same thing will happen for whoever it is, right?
Muslims and Mexicans
Sure.
or any South Americans, they're number one.
Well, Mexicans, it will be Mexicans and Jews for the economy. They're not going to go after Muslims for the economy. They'll go after Muslims for fear of
when economy crashes,
Yeah.
historically what happens is they say the Jews.
immigrants.
No, but they're going to look around. Who's running the banks?
They go after
Goldman
immigrants.
Sachs. Who runs Goldman Sachs?
Jews. They go after
Who
Jews
runs
and
Hollywood?
immigrants.
Jews.
But this is how it's been throughout the world, right? Whenever there's a problem, they immediately go after, I don't have a job. Well, it's probably because these immigrants are over here taking
Right.
all my job, et cetera. So you always go after immigrants. That's absolutely right. But I will say this. If Trump actually cares about America, and I don't
He does
believe that he does, but it doesn't do us any help to believe that he doesn't, right? He has an opportunity to change the perception of politics, which is you need to be a politician in order to do it well. If Trump can actually find a way to bolster this economy, if Trump can find a way to make better relations with the rest of the world, and if Trump can actually find a way to unite America, I'm not saying that he'll. Listen.
He has such a track
Can I
record.
finish?
No,
can I
he's such
fucking make the point? Stop it.
The one thing I like about Schultz is his optimism, but no.
Can I make the fucking point? You
Schultz,
disagree with the fucking premise.
Schultz.
You know how fucking furious
Let's
that
go to
makes
the-
me.
Schultz, let's go to
I get criticized for interrupting all the time. You don't even let me make the
Schultz.
fucking point before you disagree. Let me make the
Let's go to
point.
the Empire State Building and fly.
Let me make
Me
the
and
point.
you, let's jump in. God, we can fly.
Let me make the point. The point is this. If he does that, he opens up a lane for normal people, not establishment politicians, normal people, the Mark Cubans of the world, right? The Ballmer, the Steve Ballmer, whatever, from Microsoft.
We don't need that.
Warren Buffett. Listen, he opens up a door for people to go into politics. I think so many people that are in business go, how the fuck could I do
don't
politics?
want that.
When maybe the people in business would actually be better for politics than the politicians themselves. Because frankly, I don't know if the politicians themselves have done an
don't
incredible
want that.
job.
In theory, what you're saying is correct.
It is, but I
hold on.
want
But
that.
listen, this is someone who has literally spent hundreds of hours researching the Trump organization. Remember, I worked for them.
Yeah.
I had to write about them. I'm not just talking off
He's
the
a
top of my
terrible
head.
person.
He's a terrible person. And the other thing, he has a very long track record of stretching across decades is talking a lot of shit, hyping stuff up, getting people to believe him, and then it fucking blows up. Take a fucking car ride down to Atlantic City today. Look at the Taj Mahal. Look at all that shit that was going to change Atlantic City and make this the jewel of the East Coast and the greatest destination. Nothing will be more beautiful than this. It's a fucking ghost town. He's gone. He got his money. He got what he wanted. He's out. He's going to do
His
the
hotels
same.
are kind of shitty too, bro.
Garbage.
His hotel's so shitty. He didn't even do his own election party at his own hotel.
Garbage.
He did it at a fucking
And they had a
Sheraton.
cash bar. Can you believe that?
Exactly.
They had a fucking cash bar.
Hillary had a cash bar too. No, Hillary had an open bar. She had to pay for food.
okay. I was
You had to
gonna
pay for food. But
Damn.
listen,
Even that's bad.
you had to pay for food at Hillary's shit. And food was terrible too. I mean, the worst Chinese food I've ever had in my life. Like, goddamn. That's
Did you try the amungung?
That's what Hillary's campaign did not pay any attention to Asian Americans, and I can tell based off the fucking food at the guy. I mean, the Asian food was horrible.
Horrible.
Bro. Oh my god. I mean, totally disgusting. But the moral of the story is Hill Valley and Back to the Future too. That's where we're headed. When Biff got a hold of that goddamn sports almanac and he went into the motherfucking back to 85 and became the richest, most powerful man, and everything was fucked up except for him and his people, that's what we're headed to. I really feel that way. Unless something drastic happens and, Donald Trump gets assassinated in the next
Whoa.
You got Pence.
2 years.
Pence is more scary.
Worse. Who's worse?
Really?
Yeah.
He's
a religious fanatic.
He's terrible.
You think Trump's not going to take away your abortion? Trump's not going to take away these things.
take away my universal health care. My health care.
somebody-
He's gonna take it.
My homeboy texted me this morning. He works on the campaign too. He goes, Rudy Giuliani is the motherfucker. Rudy Giuliani is the attorney general. Then he named somebody else, and he goes, "Get your abortions while you can."
It's true. Hey, I was saying this last night. You got to get your abortions while you can. Mexicans come into the country now. You got to get your ass in now. Mexicans need to go. If you were thinking of coming in a couple months, hey, speed it up. You need to get your ass in now.
Mexicans got till the summer, bro.
Hey, man, once that wall starts going up,
they got to get in before January, but then they got till the summer.
You got to get your ass in, and the Supreme Court justices that are here right now, stay the fuck alive, okay? I don't know what we got to do to keep you alive. We might have to put you on a fucking incubator or whatever the hell it is, but stay the fuck alive. No ski trips, none of that nonsense, okay? No motorcycles, no cars, nothing. You stay in that fucking chamber, sit wearing the same outfit for 4 more years, okay? We need you to hang the fuck on, because if 3 of you motherfuckers die, it could be a wrap. Okay, the pull-out game's going to need to get very strong if you motherfuckers die.
Isn't he picking 3 people in the Senate or some shit?
No, he has the potential to because they're so old they're probably going to die.
Ruth Ginsburg has cancer. I mean, it's a bad. Obamacare is gone. And that affects me very.
Barack Obama's gone. All right. Listen, Barack Obama is Barry Bonds, Mark McGuire, Sammy Sosa, asterisk, erase all the records from the record book. It's a wrap. Okay. The only thing that's going to keep Barack alive is social media and memes. I'm telling you. That's it. It's a wrap. They are going to completely wipe out Barack Obama's legacy as we know it. Guarantee it. Fucking.
And that's terrifying, man. As a daughter of 2 young girls, to think that abortion might be illegal.
You're the daughter of 2 young girls.
Me?
Yeah, that's what he just said.
I'm saying, like, I don't. If one of my daughters,
Chris, really losing it right now.
But you got to think this way.
As the daughter of 2 young girls.
Seriously, my daughter's.
He still don't know what the fuck he said. You said as the daughter of 2 young girls. This motherfucker repeated it 3 times. Talking about Rudy Giuliani's crazy.
No, I'm definitely losing it.
All right,
Trump got people losing their mind, bro.
Today's episode of Brilliant Idiots is brought to you by Bevel. Salute to Tristan Walker, a young black man out here empowering himself. That's what we all need to do.
He was very upset last night.
He was upset, as he should be. Multi-blade razors and hair removal creams are only damaging your skin. So what can you do to keep yourself looking well-groomed and ready for cuffing season? Get Bevel. By the way, Tristan should not be that upset. And the reason he shouldn't be upset, because Donald Trump is absolutely going to make every motherfucker shave their beard. James Harden, Rick Ross, y'all got to get rid of them shit because y'all look too much like Muslims. All right? Donald Trump is going to absolutely make you shave your beard. And how do you shave your beard? With a Bevel.
Hey, right? Bevel is dermatologist approved and proven to reduce Islamophobia and prevent razor bumps, discoloration, and irritation. 9 out of 10 customers come back month to month to make sure they keep on getting that Bevel blessing. Now, this part of the ad goes out to Kiara, a.k.a. at ThinkPink122, who said she heard a Bevel ad on Brilliant Idiots and wants to know what comes with the Bevel shaving system. Bevel end-to-end shaving system includes a pre-shave oil, badger brush, safety razors, blades, shaving cream, and a cooling, restoring balm. Did you hear that, Kiara? Everything you need to get that kitty clean. That's right. Bevel isn't just for keeping guys groomed. A lady who shaves with Bevel is getting the closest shave that she could ever want. And no razor bumps. And ladies, yes, you do get some bumps down there. And sometimes we think that they're STDs, maybe HPV, maybe herpes, but we lick around it. And if you don't believe us, believe the difference you'll see when you introduce Bevel into your life.
That's right. And listen, man, Tax don't just text me and say, what do we do now? I told text him back the same thing, man. Keep God first. Buy more guns and get money. Like we just got to empower ourselves, man. I got my book coming out. We finally announced the title. It's called Black Privilege. Opportunity comes to those who create it. And basically, that's what my book is about. My book is about, just embracing who you are, what you are, knowing that it's a privilege to be here. God put you here for a reason, and making the most out of your life and making the most out of your situation. And it's just based off 8 principles that I live by, 8 principles that I've learned in my life, and I'm using his moments from my life to reinforce those principles. You know how when you read like Malcolm Gladwell, The Outliers, or Robert Greene, 48 Laws of Power, they always use like historical references to back up their principles. I'm just using, things that happened in my life and experiences that I went through to reinforce my mindset and the way I feel. And I'm with Andrew on that, man. Like you can't stop me, bro. Like I don't give a fuck who the fuck the president is, man. I can't look for these heads of state to save me, just like you can't save these hoes. That's Jesus' job. All right? So it's just like I'm gonna keep fucking moving. I'm gonna keep God first. I'm gonna stay working. I'm gonna keep empowering myself. I'm gonna keep getting this money. I'm gonna empower people around me, and I'm gonna employ people and keep giving people opportunity. And we just got to start building our own infrastructure, which within this structure called America.
Yes, absolutely.
That's it.
And there is a structure here that is built for our success.
Yes.
Whether you believe it or not, I promise you, there's a structure here that is built for your success.
The greatest case
And
of
you
optimism for that structure is going to be in the White House in January.
Look, if he could do it, you could do it.
What the
If
fuck are
this
you talking about?
fucking pumpkin can get elected president, you can definitely start your own business.
The executive producer of Celebrity Apprentice at 70 years old. Nothing exceptional about him. He is just a pale, stale white male.
With an ass mouth.
With an ass mouth.
Yep.
Nothing exceptional about him is the president of the United States of America.
If that doesn't inspire you to do what the fuck you want with your life and to make shit happen, hey, it better.
Donald Trump builds more of a case of optimism than Barack. And I'm going to tell you why. The only thing me and Barack have in common is our skin complexion.
Yeah, that dude is a superhero.
That motherfucker is a super.
Yeah.
He is highly educated. He went to Harvard. Like that motherfucker.
He's brilliant.
He's brilliant. That
Swagged out, brilliant, cool, calm, collected.
I
could beat Trump.
I
I don't look at Trump and go, I can't do that.
I can beat Trump because I can oratate better than Trump. I can give Barack a run for his money with some oratation.
You could give
Okay.
Barack or Trump?
Barack, I think I can give him a run for his money with some oratation.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you sitting down, I can put together a speech and put together some good bullshit and sell people a dream. And all you gotta do is have some rhyming words. A little alliteration goes a long goddamn way. I'm telling you. A little alliteration goes a long.
You just said you could compete with Barack.
Listen, man.
Shut your lisping ass up.
Listen,
You could
hey,
never fucking compete with Barack on a motherfucking speech. You need to shut your ass
when that
on a
lisp,
speech.
when that lisp is rhyming inspiration with penetration and sensation, all right, you out your goddamn mind. Okay, you throw a couple Jay-Z bars in there for good measure. All right, I give Barack a run for his motherfucking money. But all I'm saying is,
He give Barack a run for maybe the greatest orator of our generation, a run for his money. You've done 4 Brilliant Idiots live, and you think you can give Barack Obama a run for his money?
You gotta hear me do a public speech, man. My public speeches are kind of fire, bro. Barack don't have enough Biggie references, all right? He don't he's cool. He's cool. He got some good shit, but I got some shit that'll hit. Like, you might need to listen to that donkey today. All right, I can give Barack a little run for his money with the orientation, okay? But all I'm saying is Donald Trump doesn't have any of that. I don't even know if Donald Trump went to college. Did he go to college?
Wharton.
Okay, he went to college.
Yeah, he went to it.
For what? What's his degree?
Economics. Donald Trump had one thing that you're leaving out, which
What?
everyone wants to overlook. He had a very, very rich father who put him on.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
That don't got shit to do with him being president.
Yeah, it does.
No, it doesn't.
You would never have even heard of this dude if his father hadn't given him
Chris,
that
it's
money.
a lot of rich motherfuckers. They don't become president of the United States of America. Chris,
yeah.
Donald Trump is the president of the United States of America. I don't give a fuck how much money you got. Donald Trump's the richest man in America. He's trumped all the billionaires with this
And we
move.
know him because he's the richest
Everybody
man in America, and he would have never been that wealthy if he hadn't have gotten that seed money from his father.
And that means nothing. His biggest coup thus far is president of the United States. His daddy was never president. He's trumped his father now.
I'm not saying he's not an above average person. I'm saying he's not Barack. He's not a superhero. He's a regular dude who's a little smarter than most guys.
And that's my point exactly.
A lot of us.
But he
are
has
there.
charisma. And
No, he has balls. I'll
whether
give
you
it to him.
like it or not,
He's got
balls, not charisma,
I don't know
balls.
about
no,
charisma.
I
He's got
think
balls.
there is.
You don't rhyme, bro. You gotta have when you even if you're white dudes with charisma got some rhyme, some bars. Like, oh shit, he got bars.
No.
No bars.
First of all, this is so funny how you define speeches. Well, how many words did he rhyme in it?
Hey, word
Huh?
up.
Barack, you had one rhyme this
Come on,
time?
man. Build
All
a
right.
wall. Yeah, come on, man. Build a wall.
Listen, regardless of whether we think he has charisma or not, the people felt he has charisma. And actually, I do think that he's charismatic, not in a way that I like, but I'm flabbergasted by it. Maybe you guys call it balls, but I'm like, holy shit, this guy's, for whatever reason, he is entertaining to watch. Maybe it's because it's like watching a street fight.
He's
Maybe it's
being
like watching a
himself,
car
which is what
accident.
Hillary can't
It's
do.
he's incredibly genuine. Whether that genuineness is douchebaggery or not, it is genuine. And like you said earlier, people respect genuineness, right? I don't even know if that's a word, genuineness. Whatever it is, people respect it. You respect the person who says, I'm going to support Trump from the beginning and then supports him more than the flip-flopper.
Absolutely.
And these politicians constantly fucking flip-flop. They say one thing, then say the next, and so has Trump. But when you ask that motherfucker, hey, did you not pay taxes? He goes, yup. And that shit is refreshing to people. For whatever reason, they find it refreshing. Maybe, you know what? We've been lied to so much. You know what? Maybe it is. Maybe it's a situation where the girl's been lied to so much by a guy that she finally just respects the dude that goes, listen, I'm fucking a lot of girls.
Cheating on, cheating on,
but I'm just, let me fuck the girls and I'll be nice to you when I'm with you. And if finally they just go, you know what? I'll take the honesty. If everybody's going to cheat on me, and you're the one who cheats on me honestly, I'll go with you.
Trump just need bars. One line. All you had to do is say, I promise you all, I will build a wall. Woo! That's fire.
He did say facts in that one debate, like Beanie Siegel. I don't know if you caught that.
Facts. Oh, yeah, he did say facts.
Fact.
Man, it was kind of random. It was off ad lib.
What are some more Trump bars? What else does he need?
What else? I mean, that's his only line is I'll build a wall.
What if there's got to be something else?
If he comes out right now.
Drain the swamp. That was his one for the last week. He kept talking about drain the swamp.
We're going to see if he's going to do that shit. That'd be very interesting. I doubt that he will.
Fill it up with his own snakes if he does. And I can tell you what their names are. Ivanka, Eric, Donald Jr.
I fuck with Ivanka. Ivanka's dope.
No.
Ivanka's dope.
Okay.
But the moral of the
Ivanka's
story
an
is,
independent. She's not even conservative or Republican. I think
know who's going to be
Chris
calling
just mad he didn't get the book.
I got the
This
book.
is personal.
I got the book.
This is personal.
I did get the book. That's the problem.
Listen, the moral of the story is,
Yeah.
if Donald Trump can be president, you ain't got no motherfucking excuse. I don't give a fuck how much money this motherfucker had, okay? This motherfucker did not win this election because he's rich. I don't know why he won this election. None of us do. All right?
People are poor.
People are poor.
He didn't win it because
people
he
are
didn't win it because
stupid.
he's rich. He won it because people are poor, and he tapped into their poor, desperate situations. And you know what? There's a lot more poor white people, apparently, than there are poor minorities and disenfranchised minorities. And the Democrats tapped into the disenfranchised minorities and women, and he tapped into those poor white people.
Yeah.
And those poor white people came out, and they were more.
tapped into white people. Stop saying they were all poor. You're selling the situation short. There are a lot.
The majority of them were
He
poor,
did.
Chris.
He tapped into a lot of white people. But
no.
I would say, I don't know for sure.
The numbers were too big for.
Chris,
the
I think a lot
majority
of
to
them
be
are poor. It's
They
a
were
lot
poor.
of poor
A lot
people.
were poor.
Overwhelmingly
and a lot-
poor.
a lot
Overwhelmingly
weren't.
poor.
A lot
Why do
weren't.
y'all think all white people are winning? It's a lot of poor. It's more
And
poor white people out here
that's
than
the
anybody.
problem that with this ideology that you're spreading is you're enabling this idea that white people can't suffer, and
I
that's
come
what
from
got Trump.
suffering white
And that's
people.
what got Trump elected in the first place. Nobody believes Jews suffer. Stop it.
No, I'm half
Stop
Jewish,
it.
dude.
Okay.
I got a lot of
Well, wait, you're only half?
Yeah, sorry.
Why are we even
you
fucking
think
taking you seriously this whole fucking
you think
time?
Mara was a Jewish
Hold on.
name?
I thought, wait, your mom, you came out of the Jewish box?
I did.
Okay, so you're
Yeah,
Jewish.
I'm all right.
Okay, that's 100%.
Listen, I got a lot of I can't go home to Thanksgiving. Most of my relatives are lower middle class or poor.
You can't
struggling,
go
and
home for Thanksgiving because your relatives don't like Jews. That's always been the case.
We already got
okay?
past that.
No,
It
you
took 30
haven't.
years, but we
okay,
got past
you
that.
haven't.
Yeah. Don't worry,
The
they
dad is-
boycotted the wedding. They didn't even.
They didn't even show up.
They did, but then they started a fight, and the police were called. And
Why
they
are
were arrested.
why are you breaking glasses? What the fuck is wrong with these people? That's perfectly good China.
Well, go buy back black privilege. Listen, we got to lean on each other more than ever now. Okay?
Yes.
So that means y'all need to tune into the Brilliant Idiots podcast because that's all y'all got. Or we're the only motherfuckers that's going to be out here telling y'all the honest truth. Like we need each other now. Like, seriously, like, this is no game. Like, there's nobody leading any people anymore. Like, we are going to need each other. So we need you listening to The Breakfast Club. We need you listening to the Brilliant Idiots podcast. And you definitely need to go buy my book.
Yes.
It's at cthabook.com, cthabook.com. The pre-order link is up now.
And if you really want to support, the reason you want to pre-order is because they count towards the first week sales, and that's what actually helps propel you to the bestseller list.
Yeah,
Go
the first day,
buy the book.
The first day it was best
I heard.
new release, and
Yeah.
then now it's just been a bestseller.
Let's
And I
make
ain't even
this.
released the cover yet.
That's
Let's.
off of pre-orders.
It's all pre-order.
That's
This is very
incredible.
important. We have with the Brilliant Idiots, with the Breakfast Club, and these, we have a connection with
Your
people.
stand-up?
Well, obviously my stand-up, but we have a connection with people directly. and we can use that to create influence in the world in the way that we like. So when Charlamagne releases a book and we say, hey, go out there and support that book, we're showing the influence we have, right? And the more influence we have and Charlamagne has, the easier it is for him to get those ideas and his creative endeavors out there in the world. When he has a best-selling book, all of a sudden meetings open up at HBO. Oh, shit, well, we'd love to work with you. We'd love to do these things. The more that you support what we do, not only by listening to the podcast, but whatever it is, the more power that we really have in the industry. Our power is dictated by you. You are our currency. Everybody who listens to this, you enable us to create these things. So your support is incredibly appreciated. Maybe we don't say thank you enough on this podcast, but I'm unbelievably grateful for the autonomy and independence that you guys have provided myself personally. And I know, I would imagine Charlamagne, you feel the exact same way.
It's all about empowerment, baby.
It is literally self-empowerment. This connection we have right now, there is no middleman.
None.
There's Chris Moreau, but we can punch him.
And I encourage everybody to get some type of self-empowerment. I ain't saying you got to be in the entertainment business or whatever. I'm just saying figure out a way to have some type of self-empowerment.
Yes.
Put together some goddamn Christmas sweaters, some ugly Christmas sweaters for Christmas.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Sell them shit.
Sell them shit. Make some airbrush t-shirts. Do something.
Do the Gary V shit. Sell the shit on eBay.
That's it. Go cut some fucking grass. Don't let the Mexicans take all the fucking jobs. Listen, go start your own goddamn lawn service.
Trump is slowly trickling into the black community.
Oh, by the way.
Oh, yeah, we need to talk about that.
By the way,
Yeah.
Don't ever question Charlamagne the God about anything that comes out of my mouth. Because I'm just a reflection of our president, all right?
That's not what I want to talk about.
Fuck I want to say when I want to say it from now on.
Can we talk about how well Charlamagne is doing? I didn't realize how rich Charlamagne was.
What do you mean?
We're in a group text, me, Charlamagne, and Van Lathan.
What's up, Van, our guy?
And Charlamagne, and we're just talking about random, shit, and Charlamagne's being all rich and shit. And I thought he was just a little bit rich. I didn't think he was crazy
Not rich.
And all of a sudden, this motherfucker said, he goes, yeah, man, you got to have people on staff, like I got to pay my nanny through my company, that kind of shit, but it's good to have people to write off. And then we go, what? You have a legal nanny? This rich Trump-supporting motherfucker got a legal nanny. My parents have been good for our whole lives. We still never had a legal nanny. A legal nanny.
She lives with us, though.
Don't matter if she lives with it. She got papers, bro.
Yeah.
Jesus. This guy.
Health?
Yeah.
He pays healthcare to a nanny. Do you know how wealthy you gotta be? You 1% piece of shit, you, with a fucking, what is it, Forrest Gump, when he had the white, what is it, Bubba Gump had the white woman watching the kids and making the food?
She's not white, though.
What is she?
She's actually Trinidadian.
You got a Rihanna nanny.
No, that's
you hired a Rihanna? Whatever, same shit.
But she never voted. This is the first time she ever voted. She felt the urge to go out and vote.
Citizen,
Trump
not even a legal resident. You got you got a real live American working for you.
She was hurt yesterday too, because when I got home last night, she was up watching the election, and I looked at her and I could tell she was never voting again. She's never voting again. If you went out and voted for your first time and your candidate loses, you don't believe in the process no more. Like, you off that shit.
Hey, I'm not gonna lie, I was upset at Hillary last night. I felt she let me down. I literally felt I was like, you fucking lost? How
bad was it at the thing? I was wondering that. Like, was there a moment when everyone knew it was over?
Bro, mannequin challenge.
Like, did anyone say anything? Were people trying to keep it upbeat?
No, that shit was quiet as a mother. And you know what's so fucked up? Trump was up like 20, this is no lie, when he was up like 24-3, I said, bro, Trump might win this thing. Then it went up to like 120 to like still double digits. And I was like, do you see what I'm seeing? Because I'm looking at the fucking results, like percentages are in, and I'm like, all right, I'm going to remain optimistic, bro, but this shit look crazy right now. And I forgot what state he took, but when he took it, they was like, wow. That's why when she won Virginia, it was a big deal.
Right.
But once he took North Carolina and
Florida was the killer.
Florida was definitely the killer. It was a wrap after that.
Yo, this guy, last night we were texting during it. We're like, yo, man, and I were like, yo, I think Trump's going to win. And Charlamagne, like, slowly, like, says, like, racially biased shit without even realizing it. We're like, he goes, nah, Florida's going to win. He goes, how you know? He goes, listen, The black vote always comes in late. I go, what you mean? He goes,
the black
we're
and
showing
brown
up a little late for this.
I don't know why, but the black and brown vote always comes in late. Those counties where black and brown people dominate.
Broward County.
Broward.
Yeah,
always comes in late. I don't know fucking why. It's the truth. Detroit didn't come in till late as a motherfucker last night. I don't even think Detroit still came in yet. I'm out of here, man. The moral of the story is empower yourselves, kids. Keep God first.
Yes.
Spread love because we're going to need a lot of it. And get this motherfucking money, man. Spread love, man. We need unity more than anything. This division that's going on is whack. Racism. It's going to be more racism, more sexism, more classism. We don't need none of this shit. We was pacing well.
Let's make Trump supporters prove to us that you don't believe in that racist ideology that we think Trump believes in. So there's a lot of Trump supporters out there that say they don't believe in that. There's a lot of Trump supporters say that that's not what they're supporting. They're supporting what they want is a better life for themselves. So prove it to us that you don't believe in it. Prove it to us that you care about the Muslim community here in America and that you're not going to be prejudiced towards Muslims. Prove that you're not going to be prejudiced towards Mexicans that are here, even the illegal immigrants that are currently residing in America. But prove us wrong. And Trump, I hope more than anything that we're wrong about him.
They was chanting last night. We hate blacks.
I don't believe that.
I don't believe that. Stop it.
Okay, well, did you see the video where Trump goes, we're gonna repair this country, and all of a sudden somebody yells, "Kill Obama!"
I heard that.
Yeah, okay, yeah, all right. So you think it's a stretch for them to be chanting?
No. Listen, there are going to be people that yell that. Don't get me wrong.
I just don't think they could do it on the street.
Listen, Charlamagne.
Why?
Charlamagne, look, there are going to be people that yell that. And there are also times where Black Lives Matter protesters have yelled, kill white people, kill cops.
Absolutely.
That doesn't mean that all Black Lives Matter people or the vast majority of Black Lives Matter people believe in those two things.
That's a fact.
And I'm hoping that the majority of Trump supporters don't believe in that fucking racist ideology. And like you said, let's fucking come together. Let's be already great as America has already been. Okay? We are what the world looks to. Whether the world likes it or not, we are what the world looks to. Hey, we're going to be. And we're going to prove to them that we are going to be.
Bro. We the Lakers and Celtics.
Hey, we're going to prove to them that we are going to be.
Lakers and Celtics, bro. No. We're a storied franchise, but man, our players suck right now.
No, we are going to prove to them that we're going to be, and we're going to be fucking exceptional. And that's exactly what we're going to do because that's all we know how to do, and that's all we've ever known how to do. And we're not going to let one president ruin who we are as Americans because we have shit inside us as Americans that is bigger than Donald Trump. It didn't start with Donald Trump, and it wasn't here before, and was here before Donald Trump. So I'm not going to let one fucking guy who spoke a lot of douchebaggery change who the fuck I am and who I know this country is going to be. And I hope Americans don't do that either.
What if this is who America has always been?
Say again?
What if this is who America always has been?
That's the thing. I think your problem is you've lived the majority of your life in New York. America is not New York, man.
No. You're right.
America is a bad place.
I've traveled the country, and I'm telling you, I understand the vote when I've seen some of these places. I've been to parts of Missouri that I looked at people and I go, yo, people here look unhealthy.
You know what this reminds me of, Chris?
They look unhealthy.
It reminds me of the Dixiecrat Party.
Oh, word.
The Dixiecrat Party.
That's the
Strom Thurmond. One of the most notorious racists ever in the history of America ran under the Dixiecrat Party.
Yep.
Like, this is what this reminds me of. This is like that in 2016, except for Trump won.
I really hope that people can see this as there was a group of forgotten folks in America. They just happen to be white, and because they were white, nobody really thought that things were doing bad. But they weren't forgotten
because if you look at any of this rationally,
Chris, I just read a statistic to you that they are the one group in America.
Everything you just talked about why they're dying. Okay, let's look at it rationally. Take emotion out of it. Look at it rationally.
I don't have emotion with things.
Okay, well then
I don't give a fuck about feelings.
To the audience.
Yeah.
People are dying, right? People don't have adequate health care, which is basically the statistics you quoted. Wouldn't you support the candidate who's made it her job to try to get people adequate health care to help you with the liver disease, to help you with the drug addiction? They're not voting in their best interests. That's the problem. I can't fault somebody for voting in what they perceive to be their best interest. The problem is Trump is so clearly not in these people's best interest, and they vote for him anyway.
I don't get it.
Poor people.
You can get it. They're sexist and they're racist.
No. Poor people thrive off of hope. It's the same thing with religion. All religion tells you is, hey, if you believe me, there's some heaven. And then you go, how do you know? Trust me.
That's religion. Religion is, trust me, I got you. Hey, I got you, dog. Trust me. And Trump did the exact same, I got you, dog. Trust me. But when you're suffering, you're talking about healthcare as a solution for them. The problem isn't their healthcare. The problem is that they don't have jobs and they're poor and depressed because they have no opportunity. So you're basically saying Hillary's solution is, hey, I know you're poor, depressed, you have no opportunity, but I'm going to help you not die as fast. They want to die is the argument that was made
and
there.
The Democrats
They're killing themselves.
I mean, now you can get into NAFTA and you can say, yeah, those jobs left because of NAFTA. But I mean, who's outsourced more jobs than Trump? You think Trump's going to keep jobs in America?
I don't think he's going to keep jobs in America. I'm not saying that they made a rational, smart decision. I'm not saying that.
That's all I'm saying.
And I completely disagree with their decision on who they made. I didn't vote for that guy. But I understand, given their circumstance, why they were so easily swayed. Somebody spoke to them when nobody was speaking to them at all. And when nobody's talking, it's like you're the ugly bitch at a party. And finally a guy walks up to you and goes, hey, you look really nice today. You're going to pay attention to that guy because he's the only one paying attention to you.
Wasn't talking to white people. I mean, it's like...
Hillary what?
Hillary was talking to white people.
Hillary was talking to America. Donald Trump was talking to America. Period. They just tapped into something.
Donald Trump was talking to white people.
He was talking to America. Absolutely. That's it. It's America. He just tapped.
America's very white.
Yeah, he tapped.
That's what we learned, right?
He tapped into something in people that we as a country did not know was there. Yes. Or maybe we're just naive to it. That's what my boy told me last night.
You're fucking right.
We're just naive to it. We don't live like that. I haven't been around that type of fucking race. Grew up in South Carolina and never experienced overt racism. I'm not around that. All this shit is new to me. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So I think we just were naive to how racist, how sexist America still is. We look at these symbols and think we've progressed. We look at a black president and think we've progressed. We look at Hillary in a position of being the Democratic nominee and think we've progressed. We haven't really progressed.
Well, what about the suffering? I think that you're not giving enough due to the fact that there are people who are white and also suffer. And I didn't realize that. My vote was entirely for minorities and women. I want to improve their lives, and that's why I'm voting for this.
But
that was the one reason, the two reasons why I voted to improve their lives. I didn't even consider that the vast, maybe majority of people suffering in this country happen to be white. I didn't even consider that was a possibility.
And they would still be better served by Democratic policies. That's the crazy irony of it.
It's ironic, but again, if she doesn't do a good job articulating that to these people, if she doesn't do a good job and he does a better job, you can't.
He just called them out directly. When you say poor, that's broad.
Yes.
Poor people.
Yeah.
Poor people. And when you think of poor people, what's the first image you think of? It's not a white person. It's not. It's a poor African American in the hood. So that's what you think about. Mm-hmm. So he directly said, boom, you guys.
Y'all,
this is who I'm riding with. This is people taking your jobs. Yep. Those factories been closing down in your cities. You ain't got no place to work because of these motherfuckers.
And Democrats tried to play the race card by going, look how racist Trump is, and he definitely played into it, don't get me wrong. But those people, those poor white people, they don't give a fuck that he's racist.
No, most white people is what we learned. Not just
regardless, Chris.
Most white people.
The point is, they don't give a fuck if he's racist. So when the Democrats went with the race shaming and look how sexist, look how racist, those poor white people were like, look, we don't give a fuck. You're talking to me, right? Nobody talks to me. You're talking to me? I don't give a fuck if you grab pussies. I don't give a fuck about the Muslim thing. I don't got any Muslim friends. You're finally talking to me?
Is you going to get rid of these Mexicans? Yeah. Are you going to run these Muslims?
But what I'm saying is,
we're going to get the blacks on.
Leave Chipotle.
Okay, you can put him on the cabinet. He's fine. But everybody, you're going to get rid of him, right? Okay.
No, but like,
can we keep some of the women? I like their asses. That's what this shit is, man. Yeah. All right. I've had enough. This is really depressing. And this is 4 years.
America, you're great. You've always been great. There's been horrible times and horrific times in this country, but we have always persevered and we've always done what I think is gone. I think we've always made the right decision ultimately. I don't think this is the right decision, but I think we've corrected our wrong decisions. We've made plenty of wrong decisions in the past, horrendous wrong decisions that affected people's lives, but in the long run, we correct them. And I believe that currently this is a wrong decision. Say again?
At what cost?
A lot of times. It's a heavy cost.
Was a terrible decision.
It's a heavy cost.
It cost hundreds of thousands
Vietnam,
of lives.
slavery, the way that we've treated women throughout history. These are all things that have been horrific.
I don't want to live through any of that shit anymore.
Neither do I.
I don't even want to have anything remotely close to
that. So let's change it now. It was, someone texted me today and was like, "This is." I imagine how people felt during the Kennedy assassination, the morning after Kennedy assassination. I was like, "This is worse because that happened to people."
This
is self-inflicted.
Yeah,
we did this.
This was a Kennedy suicide.
We did this to ourselves.
But you're looking at it from the perspective of somebody who didn't want Trump to win.
Because I know
for
better.
somebody who wanted Trump to win.
They think
they're
their life
happy
is
as
beautiful.
a motherfucker.
And they're about to get fucking the coldest slap in their face. Man.
Absolutely. You think this nigga good to you? You think he gonna be good to you?
He doesn't want to be around.
You think he'll be better than you than me?
Yeah.
He gonna cheat on you just like the rest of them.
And check it out. When that happens, maybe there's a distrust of politicians. Maybe then there's a distrust of rich people. And then maybe all of a sudden we get somebody who runs for government that actually represents the people that he's supposed to represent in the first place. Maybe we'll get
Cardi B for president.
Cardi B.
Cardi fucking B.
Maybe we'll get Cardi B.
No, you're gonna get Mark Cuban and Kanye.
I would fuck with Mark Cuban. I really would. I think Mark Cuban would be a great possibility.
No.
Why?
We can't get it. See, this. I always knew celebrity was going to be America's downfall. We can't get into that game.
Oh, we're done with non-famous presidents.
Gary
now
nailed
that shit is done. Like, son, it's
I thought
over.
we was done with old white presidents, old white men. I thought white men was a wrap.
Hey, man. It's like I told you yesterday, orange is the new black.
No.
Whether you say no or yes, that motherfucker in there.
Orange is the new black because a goddamn orange man replaced the goddamn black man in the White House. All right? As always, if you listen to this motherfucking podcast and you think we're smart, you think we're intelligent, you think we're brilliant, you're absolutely right. If you listen to this podcast and you think we're just a couple motherfucking idiots, you're right too, because it's the Brilliant Idiots podcast. And I don't give a fuck whether you like this podcast or not, because guess what? None of us will probably be around to see it in a year because the world